Poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred, buy your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with a tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Shit, get your money, not your hate up. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up, I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you, I'm a coach now. Commentating, do the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Made little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
All right, what's up, good people? I give up. I'm having tech issues. As you see, the video wouldn't play. I needed a couple extra minutes, but let me know that you could hear me or can hear me in the chat by typing "We're live." We are live. Type that in the chat, or the devil is a liar, because the devil ain't finna take over this tech tonight. Okay, give me a second because I'm multitasking, but definitely let me know in the chat that you can hear me, and then I will get the last pieces done while on air. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to the tech gods. I don't know what's happening with StreamYard. It's crazy. And I literally just pulled in those videos, so they should be working. The countdown froze too. Anyway, thank you to everyone who's letting me know that you can hear me in the chat by typing "We're live." Donna, Marianne, Nicole, Niece, and Chris, Precious G. Yes, I am unique. Darlene, Jessica, Minister, Deborah Davis, Sonia, Delilah, Valerie, Minister Annette Edwards, D Baby, and everyone else in the chat who's letting me know that you can hear me. Thank you so much. That's greatly appreciated. And thank you to the 92% of you who have hit that like button, and to the 8% of you who have yet to do it. Please do so as soon as you can. And thank you for your support in advance. Greatly appreciated. So tonight we have a bit of a it might be a jam-packed show. Yeah, it's kind of jam-packed. We are going to, of course, have our missing persons segment. Then after that, we're going to talk about a shocking arrest of a 10-year-old boy, and then also a health update on Morgan Freeman and what has some of his relatives or close friends and relatives concerned. I guess more close friends. And then Keke Palmer and Usher have collabed in a very unique and, in my opinion, petty way. But I'm here for it. I'm here for the petty. And then also we're going to talk a little bit about Tyler Perry and the rumor that was out there about him doing the purchasing BET, and got an update on that. And then also a class action lawsuit for with Apple and the iPhone that was coined Batterygate. And so we'll cover that a little bit. Then a couple viral stories. So I'll save those. We'll talk about those at the end. Anyway, let's get right into it. Again, bear with me a minute as I'm getting a little adjusted still during the show, since I couldn't have my little commercial play. Give me some time. But first up for missing people, we have, and I pulled some of these I pulled all of these yesterday. And so what happens is sometimes there's like updates before I even get to do the live with y'all, get on here with y'all. So if you hear anything of these stories and you have heard that these people have now been found since the time I pulled it to the time that I'm talking about it, let me know in the chat, or you can hit me up in the VIP text community, which should be pinned. Is it pinned to the top of the? I thought I had it pinned to the top of the chat. Hold on, let me pin that. I know I pinned it earlier. I guess I don't know if it went away when I went live, but let me pin it to the top. The link you can click on. This link will allow you to connect with me on all of my platforms. Yep, pin it again. I don't know why it went away. But that Linktree link there, you click on that, that will connect you on all of my platforms. And while I'm doing the missing persons, I guess I'll have it scrolling across the bottom of the screen as well. Thank you so much for that, moderators. And so first up, we have Josiah Mitchell, Josiah Dion Mitchell. He is, this is out of Decatur, Georgia. Why did I say it like that? Decatur? Decatur, Georgia. He's been missing since August the 16th, so like 2 days ago. He is 2 years old. He's black male, medium complexion. They don't have a height for him, and they do not have a weight for him. They're saying that his hair color is brown and is short in length. His eye color is also brown. And Josiah was kidnapped on Wednesday around 11:23 p.m. in the 3300 block of Flat Shoals Road. And they're saying the circumstances of his disappearance is the child's family told police he was taken during an armed robbery. Lord Jesus. The police said Mitchell, alleged kidnapper, is driving a black sedan. The make, model, and tag of the car are unknown. So these folks then might have been, they say an armed robbery, but I'm wondering, was it like a carjacking as well? And got this baby. Let the baby out. Jesus, Lord. It's all bad enough you doing that. Jesus, Lord Jesus. So we're praying that little Josiah is found and that he's hopefully in good, well, I was going to say in good care, but you know what I mean? Like that they're not harming a baby. Jesus, Lord Jesus. Let me put his contact information. If you have any information that can lead to the whereabouts of Josiah, please contact 911 or area code. Again, this is in Decatur, Georgia. But you can call the police at area code 770-724-7850. Again, area code 770-724-7850. Then that leads us to our next. Let me go ahead and paste this in the chat as well while I'm on that screen. Paste it. There you go. And then we have Adolf G. Alcindor. And Adolf has been missing since July 18th of this year. He is now 83 years old. He is height of 5'9", 5 feet 9 inches, about 175 pounds, short hair, brown eyes. And they're saying, according to the family, he was transported to a hospital after suffering a fall at his residence, located in the area of Junction Boulevard and 37th Ave in Queens, New York. But they're saying they have called every hospital in the area, and there are no patients listed under his name. They believe their loved one, was transported without ID and was admitted in the hospital as a John Doe. That's crazy. That's crazy. If he was transported by, well, they just said transported to a hospital, but they didn't say how. But if it would have been EMTs, you would think that they would be able to say where they got him from. And that's crazy. Lord Jesus. So anyway, if you have any information that could lead to Adolf, hopefully one of our people works in these hospitals somewhere and they happen to be at the one that he's at and can say, hey, we got this man nobody could identify. It's crazy, but the family's been calling around. If you have any information on his whereabouts, please contact the New York Police Department at area code 718-533-2002. Again, area code 718-533-2002. Then we go to our next unfortunate story of another missing person. This is another child. I'm going to paste the information, copy and paste it into the chat. Oh, let me put it up on the screen too. Here we had Gerard Jenkins. This is out of Washington, D.C. Hold on, I'm trying to move it where I can see it. We have the Metropolitan Police Department is seeking the public's assistance in locating 10-year-old Gerard Jenkins, who was last seen in the 1600 block of Olive Street Northeast on August the 16th of 2023. He is described as a black male with dark brown complexion. He is approximately 4 feet 11 inches in height, about 140 pounds, brown eyes, black hair, was last seen wearing a white tank top, black short pants, and black Puma sneakers. pink and green with pink and green designs. He was riding a black and purple bike. So if you have any information on Gerard, you can call anonymously, area code 202-727-9099, or you can text any information to 50411 50411. Okay, and we have what, 2 more? I think we got 2 more. And this one I didn't have as much information on. It was like a random tweet, but not like an official document. They had pictures of this young lady who, I put all of these pictures up because I was like, she kind of looks a little different in each one. So I don't know what she last was looking like, but I was like, it's important that you kind of know that she could have any variations of these looks, because they didn't specify in this post that I saw. So they say this missing person is out of the Maryland area. This is Crystal Matthews. She is 39 years old. They just said she is close to Blessing's family. Don't know what that means. There was no context given, but that's what they say. Close to Blessing's family. Crystal's last post was on April 7th. Police can't do a wellness check on her because her last address is unknown. Her last reported whereabouts was hospitalization between May 7th and May 18th. So again, it's people who know her, who have not heard from her, but they cannot locate her, and can't do a well-being check because they don't know where she lives. So if you have any information, excuse me, on Crystal, please call and this I had to kind of assume because they didn't even have contact information for this one either. And when I Googled her name to try to hopefully run up on something, hashtags, all that, nothing else came up. So we know she's out of Maryland. Best I can say is call the Baltimore Police Department, because that was connected to a couple of these other ones out of that area. And you can call them at area code 410-396-3151. Again, area code 410-396-3151. We got 2 more. Then we have a young lady. Let me paste this information into the chat. So many buttons and screens and back and forth. Got to find your place. Okay. And then put this picture up as well to give you context. Okay. So this is Micaiah Bailey. She's been missing since June the 14th of 2023. She is 17 years old. This is out of Baltimore, Maryland again. She is approximately 5 feet 7 inches, 100 pounds. She has long black, well, at least the last time we saw her, she had long black hair and brown eyes. They said she went missing from the northwest area of Baltimore on June the 14th and has not been seen or heard from since. She is an honor roll student approaching her senior year in high school. They said the circumstances of her disappearance, they say Michaela's family strongly believes she may stay in the area and be in the company of an adult male. What I don't know from this picture that is up is if this, because they didn't give context, but if this male is the male they're saying she's with, or is this a brother or a father? I have no idea. I don't want to implicate a person because it was not made clear who this guy is. But with this missing post or tweet, these pictures were also attached. So again, I don't know if this is the guy she's supposedly with or not, but they're saying she's with a male. Sounds like almost a runaway kind of situation. And if she's an honor roll student, I'm praying that she just realizes that this dude ain't worth it and comes back home. So if you have any information on Micaiah, you can contact the Baltimore Police Department at area code 410-396-3151. Again, area code 410-396-3151. And last but not least, I'm going to put this in the chat as well for our last missing person of the evening. Here we go. Paste it. Okay. All right. We have Javetta Brockington. She is 39 years old, and this is out of Philadelphia, PA. She is a Black female, approximately 5 feet 2 inches. She is about 175 pounds, has blonde hair. It is long, so I'm assuming this is locks that she has, so I'm assuming this might be the same hairstyle. Eye color is brown. They said that she was last seen in the Germantown section of Philadelphia, headed to Atlantic City, New Jersey. She told her family that she was traveling to Atlantic City in her burgundy Honda Sonata with the Pennsylvania license plate of LMP 0822. Again, that plate number is LMP 0822. They said, however, no one has heard from her since August the 6th, and it is unknown if she arrived in Atlantic City. So sad. If you have any information on Javetta, contact the Philadelphia Police Department at area code 215-686-3353. Next, again, well, it's in the chat. I ain't got to repeat it. Prayers to all of our missing people. Let me see. I have some messages here, so I'm going to some start mess. I'm going to see if they have anything to do with what we just read, just in case. They arrested his father for filing a false kidnapping report. I wonder if this is in regard, because I don't know the time, depending on what I'm talking about. If I don't have context, I don't know, because y'all know I talk fast, I move fast. Are we talking about Josiah? Can we get a yes or no? That his father found? Okay, yes. Somebody's typing yes under my under my account. I don't know how that's happening. Okay, great. Okay, so looks like Josiah is, that's crazy. Okay, I need to look into that story. Thank you so much, Ambitious Beauty. There's more to the story. Can't mention I'm close to it. Oh, but dude, baby, you shouldn't be typing. You should have sent me a private message. Not and put it all on the screen. Just remember that VIP text community number that's scrolling across the screen, the 312, whatever it is. That number, if you text me there, you and I are the only people that will see those messages. So if you ever want to communicate with me privately and you don't use social media, then just text me there. Veil Dad lies about it. Okay, so it look like everybody's saying, let me pre-read these, because if I've already said that, I don't have to repeat it. Yeah, there's a lot of trafficking. Absolutely, there's a lot of trafficking going on across the U.S. There's some stories. There was one I ran into last week. Would have been a few, but it was one I ran into last week that I was saying I got to add to the list. I just haven't so much, y'all. Y'all see how long our lives be with the stuff that I do have for us to talk about, and there's so much more I want to cover. It's a lot, y'all. May God bless you for posting. Oh, thank you so much. I am just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so everybody's saying the same. Hold on. Thank you for everyone who let me know. It didn't go. I've been posting a lot of missing kids on people and people on Facebook. Yeah, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get more consistent with it, but I've been trying to do it with everyone that I talk about, and some that I don't. Some, if I'm not going live or whatever, that I see, I just automatically will share them. So that's good. Okay, so we are going to go on to our next our first story of the evening. And that is the shocking arrest of a 10-year-old little boy for urinating. Yes, he was arrested for urinating. Want to know how many of you have heard of this story? So there's a 10-year-old in Mississippi boy who was arrested and jailed for peeing behind his mom's car. And it's definitely ignited a wave of outrage and debate. And the 10-year-old boy was arrested and taken to jail for unexpected reasons that makes it clear to many of us that our children are not seen and protected the same way as others. They see our children as adults for some strange, well, I know why, but I always say for some strange reason, but I know the reason. I'm being sarcastic when I say for some strange reason, they see our little boys like men. That's because our little boys used to be out in the fields like men. They would have them doing heavy lifting and picking cotton and all that. They never saw a difference. They still don't to this day. And that's why we have to remind people that Black Lives Matter. That is what these stories like this is why. This is why. So last week, a routine visit to an attorney's office in Mississippi took an unexpected turn for Latanya Eason and her 10-year-old son, Quantavius. It all started innocently enough, but what happened next left both the family and the community in disbelief. They say while at the attorney's office, he found himself in a predicament where he ended up having to use the restroom, and he ended up urinating behind his mother's car. And he explained that his sister had told him there were no restrooms available. I don't know how old the sister was. Most likely she another kid, and they in the backseat of the car, and they talking, and she like, ain't no bathrooms in there. You know, they kids, they don't know no better. I had them kid conversations too when I was a kid. So anyway, he thinking he had no choice, so he urinated by his mom's car. Said his mom responded with disappointment and a motherly lecture about his choices. This was after a police officer showed up. And they said, however, what was initially a parenting moment took an unexpected twist because a officer arrived and was prepared to issue a warning to him, which would have been the right way to do. And they said, but soon the situation escalated as more officers arrived on the scene. More breaker one, we got a 10-year-old urinating. Everyone calling all squad cars. Officer in danger. What? But we just saw this earlier this week. Last time I went live, what was that, Wednesday? We saw the story of the 12-year-old who was detained while emptying his garbage from his apartment unit. Garbage his father sent him out to empty. And probably had his father not shown up and been as bold as he was and knowing his rights or whatever, his son probably would have got taken into the station for questioning and all that anyway. Or the fingerprint for they could say, oh, we don't know what else he could have been involved in, just in case. So they said, but soon the situation escalated as more officers arrived on the scene, leading to the decision that left everyone stunned. So as you can imagine, fear and confusion swept over Quantavius as he was told he would be arrested. The young boy was taken to the police station where he found himself in a jail cell. Y'all know I read the story earlier, like I had to read it to pull it in. And it's upsetting, very upsetting. Like every time I read it, it's ridiculous. They don't think this is right. Like you can't hide racism when you do these sort of things. They're not doing this to their kids. They are not. They are not. Latoya, his mother, expressed her shock and disbelief, questioning the necessity for arresting a 10-year-old for such a minor offense. Quantavius fear and confusion. Expressed his fear and confusion during the arrest. Do y'all know how many times I would have been arrested if people arrested kids for urinating? You know, many times as a boy playing out in the street till the street lights came on. How many times I didn't want to go in the house because I was afraid they might make me stay in, so I let it loose wherever I could, behind on the side of a building, wherever. I didn't need to go to jail. I would be in jail for life right now if somebody was holding me to those standards as a kid. Let me play this clip for y'all so I can take a breath. It's too much, y'all. It's too much. I know I got to report this stuff, y'all, but it's too much sometimes.
Start shaking and thinking I'm going to jail.
10 years old, sitting in the back of a Senatobia police cruiser. What could he have possibly done to wind up there? Urinate in public. There's a photo circulating on social media, sparking outrage in the community. I spoke with the boy's mother about what happened and asked police why they felt the need to haul the boy off to jail.
I'm just speechless right now because, for one, I can't believe it happened. Like, why would you arrest a 10-year-old kid?
Last Thursday, LaTanya Eason stopped by a Senatobia attorney's office for legal advice. She says within as little as 10 minutes, a police officer interrupted her meeting. He caught her 10-year-old son, Quantavious Eason, urinating behind her car.
I was like, son, why did you do that? He said, Mom, my sister said they ain't got a bathroom in there. I was like, well, you knew better. You should have came and asked me if they had a restroom. So he was like, since you had it like a mom, then he could just get back in the car.
But Eason says things quickly took a turn for the worse when several more police cruisers pulled up.
Another officer came over there and was like, your son got to get out of the car. He got to be arrested because he can't do that.
I started like crying a little bit, and they had like took me down there, and they got me out the truck, and I wouldn't know what was happening.
Quantavious says they held him in a jail cell, and his mom says they charged him with child in need of services, then released him to her.
That could really traumatize my baby. My baby could get to the point where he don't want to have a counting with police, period.
I get scared, start shaking and thinking I'm going to jail.
We reached out to Senatobia Police Chief Richard Chandler. He sent over this statement. It says in part, in this situation, an officer personally witnessed a 10-year-old committing an act in public which would have been illegal for an adult under these circumstances. The officer did not observe a parent on the scene during the initial contact. The mother was located at a nearby business shortly thereafter, and the mother was advised her child would receive a youth court referral for this matter. Under these circumstances, it was an error in judgment for us to transport the child to the police station since the mother was present at the time as a reasonable alternative.
So yeah, that's the story. So thankfully, the incident gained attention on social media platforms when his mom posted the photo of her son in the backseat of the patrol car. The public was outraged, or we are still, and questioning why the young child was subject to such treatment. Comments and posts flooded in, demanding answers and accountability. And then in response, we heard what the police chief had to say. And he explained that the law allows referral of children as young as 7 if they are deemed in need of supervision, or 10 if they commit acts that would be illegal for an adult. I mean, even for an adult, urinating on the side of the building, are you going to take them in and put them in a jail cell and process them? I thought they write citations or something at worst for something like that. Is it that bad in Mississippi? I mean, I know it's bad in Mississippi, but is it that bad? He acknowledged the situation could have been handled differently. Not could have been, should have been, must have been. An overview of the law allowing referrals for children. Yeah, I don't know, y'all. There needs to be an overview for sure. Have you heard the story of the 10-year-old who was arrested for public urination? 79% of you had not heard this story. 20% of you had. So again, once again, I'm glad that I brought it to your attention. Do you agree? The next poll was, do you agree that the 10-year-old Quantavious should have been arrested? 100% of you have sense. 100% of you have humanity. I'm gonna move on to the comments. Said they were trying to make an example out of him. Aren't they making more? I mean, I hear you, Robin, for sure. But aren't they making more of an example of themselves and how cruel they are? That's because that's all I got out of it. That's literally all I got out of it. The little boy was urinating, not breaking a window, no vandalism, not causing damage, not causing a ruckus, not disturbing the peace, relieving himself. A natural need of his body. And he was too young to understand that if his mom was in a law office, that law office is guaranteed to have a restroom he could use. He a baby. He's still learning. These police need to do their job, stop wasting taxpayer. Yeah, because when you think about all that they did, all that resource they used to escort him to the police office, processing him, they probably fingerprinted the baby and everything. Jesus. Traumatizing. Darlene is saying, I was getting ready to talk about the 12-year-old. Looks like the cops are getting off arresting Black youth, terrorizing. Yeah. That's been happening for a long time. T. Smith is saying they're going to keep doing it. They have a pass, the Supreme Court, a majority white Congress, the police force, etc. That's a hard truth. Yeah, hopefully the tides will change. Hopefully something will happen. I think this is kind of part of the process to get us to that place. I mean, it might not happen in my lifetime or your lifetime, but hopefully. They need to pay for therapy for these young kids will need after being traumatized this way. Yep. Agree. Right. And that's the thing. They always say it was an error in judgment, the lies they tell. And that's all they have to do is say, oh, it was an error in judgment. Then they just get away with it. So that's it. All right. Moving on to the next story. We have growing concerns over Morgan Freeman's health and what's happening with the iconic actor. Put a poll question up for you guys for this one. Let me know. Did you hear about Morgan Freeman's failing health, according to his close family and friends? They're saying that concerns have grown over Morgan Freeman's health. It has some asking what happened to him. There's unfortunate news surrounding the legendary actors, and his friends and family are expressing concerns. It is not uncommon for celebrities to capture the hearts through their performance, and one such actor is definitely Morgan Freeman. However, recent reports from Radar Online have sparked concerns about the beloved actor's health. According to sources, his friends are worried about his well-being due to his significant weight drop of around 25 pounds. And that's, I think, a more recent picture of him. And they said, according to sources, last month, he was at an event where he was honored for his dedication to conservation, and fans couldn't help but notice his haggard appearance. It is clear that something is amiss, and his friends are speaking out. And they said that Freeman's close friends reveal, when you suffer the kind of pain he does, your appetite tends to go away. You have to worry about him. The pain that they mentioned stems from a car accident that left Freeman with excruciating shoulder and circulation issues, and ultimately led to a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And they said, despite his health challenges, Morgan Freeman remains a powerhouse in Hollywood. He is known for his incredible work ethics and dedication to his craft. However, his friends emphasize that his pain is very real and affects even the simplest tasks like walking or moving his arms. His resilience shines through. His recent appearance at the 2023 Oscars caught the attention of many. He sported a black glove on his left hand, sparking controversy, sparking curiosity among viewers. But this wasn't a fashion statement for him. There was a reason behind it, a powerful reason behind it. So put up this other poll question while I get to the last part of this. Uh-oh. And they said that his glove is more of a close-up of it. The glove is a visible reminder of a life-changing car accident that nearly took his life in 2008. His vehicle flipped multiple times on a Mississippi highway, resulting in severe nerve damage and the loss of his use of his left hand. See, I didn't know this. I don't know how many of you knew this. I'm like, did I just totally forget, or just something I never ran across? So they said, I even, like, after I read this, I was like, let me go Google the pictures. Like, let me see if they're out there. So these were the actual pictures from 2008 of his vehicle after his car accident. And in the top picture, you see they have it circled where he was still stuck in the vehicle. And they said rescuers had to use the jaws of life to free him from the wreckage. The accident left him with ongoing nerve issues, and he shared in a 2010 interview, I suffer nerve damage that hasn't gotten better. I can't move it. To promote blood flow and manage his condition, he wears a compression glove. I did not know this. I did not know any of this. So they said just recently at the 2023 Oscars, he graced the stage while wearing the glove. He escorted Margaret Robbie to mark the 100 years of Warner Brothers. So that's Morgan Freeman, and so they're saying that his health is failing. I guess just I mean, he's getting older and all of that. So, and then on top of that, these health issues, and I guess they're growing. Did you hear about Morgan Freeman's failing health? According to his close friends, 88% of you had said no, and 11% of you said yes. And did you know or remember that Morgan Freeman was in a major car accident in 2018? 70% of you said no. 29% of you stay informed. Y'all stay informed, because I didn't know. Let's see what y'all saying in the comments, and then we're gonna move on. I have fibromyalgia on top of chronic pain. When you're in that much pain, you don't want to do nothing. Yeah, I can imagine. Deborah Tab is saying, yes, he has severe arthritis. Okay, on top. Okay. Right. Prayers to everyone who deals with chronic pain. For sure. So yeah, thoughts and prayers out to him. Hopefully. Oh Lord, now my program then froze, y'all. Hold on. But yeah, hopefully that he'll get healing. Okay. Hopefully the whole site ain't failed. Hold on, y'all. I gotta start all over. Okay. Is it back? Okay, it's back. Woo! That would have been our whole show. I ain't no good without the notes. I'll just be rambling. Y'all already know. Those of y'all who know that my brain be all over the place. I'll be talking about 20 different topics at the same time in the same sentence. Like, ooh, I can't function without these notes. Not on here. On Patreon, there's a different story. Y'all don't care about my rambling, because I spill a lot of tea on top of it. Okay, so what are we going to? Okay, next we have the situation with Keke Palmer and Usher and her boyfriend, well, ex-boyfriend. And we had moved on. We kind of thought it was over, didn't we? I know I had. But it looks like they are making sure to stay in the news with this. I'm like, where are my images? Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna just throw up anything. Anyway, so they have now released a single. Usher and Keke have a collaboration of a new song Usher has out called Boyfriend. And in the song, what was just released, I think it was like 24 hours ago. So within a day or so ago, it sent the fans into a frenzy with their cryptic teaser about the collaboration. Keke had posted it on her social media, so I did see the teaser. And they delivered it. It was a music video for Boyfriend. And I don't know how many of you remember or are aware of the back story with this whole thing. So Keke Palmer was at an Usher concert. How long ago was that? Was it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, maybe, at a concert. Usher ends up serenading her. I did a whole story on it. I would say I'll pull the link, but it's hard. It's too hard to pull a link. I had to find it. But anyway, I'll link it to, if you're watching a replay, I'll link it to the first pinned comment and the description area of this video. So you can see the whole layout. I literally did a whole story on this. So anyway, just a little quick rewind. Usher serenades her. She's in this beautiful black lacy, thingamajig, and her cheeks are out. And so she's shimmying, and Usher is singing to her. He's serenading her, and she sings a little bit too on the mic. And her then boyfriend / baby daddy, that's her again. Where he at? He ends up tweeting out, you a mom though. Like, it was basically disrespectful for her to dress in such a way as a mom and have her cheeks out. And social media got to dragging him for being a misogynist. But on top of that, everybody like, well, what you do for a living? Because you're talking about, he's like, nobody wants to see their wife out there like that. And they like, you ain't married to her. You ain't no, what are you doing to make this a legitimate situation? You ain't married to her. You're not the breadwinner. We can't even see what kind of job you really got. It looks like you're living off of her whole thing. So then she also clapped back, and she ended up creating I'm a mother though t-shirts, and I'm Stevie to the BS, the bullish t-shirts. And I guess she wasn't done, because then she comes with this whole collab with Usher. Let me see what I pulled for y'all. I think is this one with the sound or not? Let me see. Okay, this is like a little teaser of the video. This was on her social media. And then in the video, which y'all know I can't play no music and all that. So in the video, she also at the end, it's a scene like she's waking up from oversleeping for a show. And she then says, "Dag, I overslept. I'm so tired." Like, somebody calls her. She picks up the phone. She said, "Dag, I'm so tired. I overslept. I am a mom though," and then winks at the camera. I'm like, she is my kind of petty. She is definitely my kind of petty. So, but I don't know. Let me see. How many of you have you seen the Usher and Keke Palmer video? 48% of you have. 52% of you have not. It's a cute little song too. I just saw somebody. I forgot. I saw in the live chat. somebody's comment that they like the song. It's actually a good little song. So I'm thinking that Usher probably already had that in the can. It was probably already going to come out, and this situation just gave him, you know, a perfect reason to, perfect timing, I should say, to have it come out. And then he basically, the majority of the video is Keke. I want to say I feel like 60% of the video was her. So he definitely featured her, and then even in the credits put starring Keke Palmer. And then she actually did a social media post. Is this the, yeah. She put on her social media, Usher, I remember, why am I trying to strain and read it from there when I can read it bigger from here? Oh, give me a second. Uh-oh, that's the wrong one that's coming. Oh, no, I can still read it. Oh, but that ain't the right one. Hold on. There we go. She says, Usher, I remember when I was 12 and auditioned for In the Mix. You have been killing it all my life. As a true lover of the arts, your talent and craftsmanship are a rare combination that I aspire to achieve as a performer. You are a living legend who is worthy of awe. Thank you for encouraging me and seeing me as the entertainer I am. I know I'm a girl, but when I watch your videos, I never wanted to be the girl in them. I wanted to be you. Thank you for making a dream come true. And then she got the link of the video. So Usher made her dream come true. And she's out there trying to make her mark on the music scene as well. She doesn't just want to be an actress. She considers herself an all-around entertainer, acting, singing, dancing, all that good stuff. And so he definitely has given her a larger platform in order to do that. So my question is, though, do you feel like well, I said, do you think, that's a typo, y'all. Do you think that Keke has gone too far with this? I mean, he got her ex-boyfriend got drugged by the public for days on social media. She then clapped back on top of that with her social media, had well over 1 million people liking her coming back with the clap back of the merch line. I'm a mother though. And then now this. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm so here for it. Especially because he obviously, the way I look at it, that did not break them up. That one little post did not break them up. They obviously had stuff happening prior to that. On top of that, there was something that went out. I saw it today during my little research, but I hadn't seen it prior to this. But supposedly when they had the tiff over his post, he then was in the DMs of some Instagram model offering to fly the Instagram model out. And if y'all know what that means, y'all know what that means. So he was, and that's when she was, because Keke put something like, I'm forgetting, I ain't quite that hip, but she had put something out about basically, if you gonna act up, I'm a, what'd she say? If you act up, I don't know, move on. But anyway, so she's like, link up. I'm a link. If you act up, I'm a link up, or something to that effect. So I can now see, because it seemed kind of out of the blue. I was like, she doing that over his post, but she must have been doing that after she found out, in addition to that post, he also in the DM of an Instagram model in that same time period. So there was other issues going on. This was not just not just about that post. And I see people like, she better Usher ain't gonna help her take care of that baby. If her boyfriend leave her, blah blah blah. I'm like, we're talking about a woman who's a multi-millionaire. This woman's been she's had a 20-year career already, and she in her 20s. It's like, what ultimate universe? I mean, I'm one for definitely, when possible, at all times, whenever possible, the father should be in the child's life. Both parents should be in the child's life. However, there are times when that's not possible. This, I'm hoping, is not one of those situations. But what I do know is that baby boy is going to be taken care of no matter what, as long as Keke is around. Like, people so slow. Like, y'all, people are acting like if he break, or since they've broken up, she's gonna be destitute without him. What? He was living on her. She was supporting him. Get what? She's supporting him and the baby. Now it's more to go to the baby now. What? Let me see what y'all talking about. Oh, ain't got no star comments. Okay, I see in the live chat y'all saying stuff though. Let me see. Hold on. She doesn't need any help. The F they talk about, right, Key, me and you, we see each other. That's, as I was reading the comments, that's exactly what I was saying in my head. Like, what? This makes no logical sense what you're saying. If you're talking about from a perspective of the baby need a daddy in his life, I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's just because they break up. If the man is a real man and he's trying to be a real father, them breaking up would have nothing to do with whether or not he's going to be in that child's life. So, and that shouldn't mean that she got to put up with BS either. Because that was another thing that I said in the first video that we did when we did the deep dive on this, is Keke had expressed in a couple interviews prior to this, even before meeting him and since they had been together, that she would never have her intimate details about her relationship or talk outwardly about her relationship in public. Like, she's a public figure and she knows what that does and what that means. He is the one that broke that. In addition to, again, I feel like there had to be other stuff happening behind the scenes. For her, that might have been the icing on the cake. Like, Ninja, you already acting up and this and that and over there, and you just did that and that and that. And on top of that, you break, I'm a public figure. You know that anything you put out there about me has the potential, will go viral. And you do this. I'm through with you. I can't trust you. And that's how I would look at it. I literally, for me, that would be like a loss of trust. Whether I feel like I did something wrong and maybe you had the right to call me out about it, or it should be a conversation we have or whatever, fine. You should be tapping me on the shoulder once I walk in the door at home, not on social media. You doing too much. And now I don't trust you. Because if you're going to do that to me, if you really get something on me, what you going to do with that? So that's how I saw it. We had star comments. I don't know what happened to them. Why'd they go away? I don't know. All right, I'm going to do 2 more on my own and then we moving on. I just saw something. I think whatever was going on between the two of them, it was a straw that broke the camel's back. Right. Kate Nicole, I'm with you. That's exactly how I feel about it. Right. He talks too much. Yeah. And he's slow. How you gonna be in the DMs of an Instagram model? Did you think they weren't gonna tell them that? That gets them clout. Be like, and that's what the woman who he was in her DMs on Instagram, she was like, no, Kiki's man ain't in my DMs, or baby daddy ain't in my DMs. She called him out instantly. Yes, a father figure should, sure, but financially, she been getting money for years now. Didn't she just launch her own streaming platform for that? She's far from broke. Right. Yeah, she got all kind of stuff. And then she got a brand, I think it's called Boss Lady or something. So she's doing a whole thing with that and looks like conferences, and she's getting into independent filmmaking and all that. She don't need him like that. The baby need him, but she don't need him. Anyway, closing out this poll, do you think that Keke has gone too far? 22% of you think she did. Some of y'all don't like the level of pettiness that gives me glee. I understand. And 78% of you say no. And I agree with pettiness when I feel it's deserved. It's well earned. Then I agree with pettiness. In general, just being petty and walking around just throwing petty everywhere, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But if you send for the petty, you will get the petty. That's how I look at it. All right, we're moving on to our next topic, and that is Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. And we know that there's been rumors going around for what? Not those rumors, y'all. Not those rumors. We ain't talking about those rumors. We're talking about the business related rumors. Because we know that there's quite a few rumors going on about Tyler Perry. They ain't really rumors. Truth be told, they ain't really rumors. They rumors to some of y'all still, but they ain't really rumors. Some of y'all just ain't seen it for yourself. There's a lot of evidence out there. Anyway, Paramount has officially stopped the sale of the BET Media Group, leaving some to wonder what's next for the highly anticipated ownership change. The highly coveted sale of the majority stake of the BET Media Group, which includes VH1 and the popular BET Plus streaming service, has officially halted. And they said this decision has put an end to the rumors of prominent Black media moguls taking over the brand. And Tyler Perry was one of them. I had heard that, but I never really deeply looked into this story. I hadn't got around to it. But they said one of the prominent names that was circulating was none other than Tyler Perry. And I don't need to say a claim, blah, blah, blah. We already know. They say that although Perry never publicly commented on the matter, multiple sources had confirmed his involvement. And according to the Wall Street Journal, his bid was financially backed by Ariel Alternatives, a private equity branch of Ariel Investments. I think Ariel Investments started in Chicago. I remember hearing a lot about them in the early 2000s. So they said, but Tyler Perry wasn't the only one that was interested in acquiring BET. They said high-profile figures like Sean P. Diddy Combs, 50 Cent. 50 Cent got money like that? 50 Cent, Byron Allen, and Shaquille O'Neal were reportedly in discussions to buy out the media entity. I didn't even know Shaquille O'Neal had money like billions, or enough to be able to pull billions. Like, I know he's rich and all that, but I didn't think he was like billions or a billion. But anyway, they said the private bidding war saw offers ranging from $2 to $3 billion, although none of the potential buyers openly disclosed their price points. So they're saying, why did Paramount decide to end the talks of the sale? And they're saying, according to reports, the decision was based on the current numbers not meeting the company's expectations for meaningful deleveraging of its balance sheet. So this led to the disappointment in lowball offers received from potential buyers, ultimately resulting in the decision to retain ownership. So now that, it could be that this is, a temporary situation. They're going to try to get the market shares up or whatever first, and then, maybe they'll go for it again. But I'm wondering, do you think that Black Entertainment, which is what it used to be called, was it Black Entertainment TV? But BET, do you think it would ever be Black owned again? Because it was originally a Black owned. It was created by, who created it? What was his name? Let me know in the chat, y'all. What was his name? The man who created it. I want to say Bob Johnson, but I know that's wrong. But anyway, he then eventually sold it, and so a lot of people were upset about that. It's like, we finally got something, and then and sold it to the white folks, and now they about to sell it for billions. So I don't know how much. I can't even remember how much they purchased it for. Probably was the high millions, but anyway. They said while Tyler couldn't cross the finish line to become the primary owner of BET, his impact on the platform remains significant. He already owns a minority stake in BET and continues to host original programming on the BET Plus streaming service, such as All the Queen's Men, which I've never watched. Do y'all watch that? I'm curious. Let me do that. Oh, try to end that. Why won't end? Oh, Lord, now the poll's acting up. Never mind. Y'all let me know in the chat. Do you watch All the Queen's Men? So they're saying All the Queen's Men, Ruthless, never heard of that one. And they said despite the failed acquisition, Tyler Perry work continues to be popular among the viewers. Did it end that poll? Okay, it finally ended. Let me see. I'm curious about all the, because I hear people talking about it, but I haven't even attempted to watch it. Do you watch all Queens? The men? Yeah. Do you watch it? I struggle with Tyler Perry stuff, and I want to support it, but it's like my brain power can't support it. Like I find myself watching in a critical way. Like I can't enjoy the content because I'm like, okay, why are they talking so slow? Okay, why are they repeating the same stuff over and over in the dialogue versus just moving on? Like literally a scene that should be a minute and a half to 2 minutes is like 8 to 10 minutes. And I'm like, literally, y'all arguing back and forth or saying this, and you're repeating. What is happening here? What is going on? So it's stuff like that, just in the genericness of it. Not All the Queen Men, because I have never seen that one, but other shows that I've tried to watch, like Sisters. I hear people say that's good. I tried that. It was some stuff going on in the scenes that I kept getting stuck on, like, why y'all doing this? Why is that? What is this? Who is that? Why are they doing that? That's goofy. Like all this. So I get so stuck in that mode. I'm like, I can't even sit here and enjoy it. Wow, 72% of you do not watch it. I thought it'd be a little higher than that. So 27% of you do watch it, rather. Right. Who was that? Valerie. Let me see. We can go to the live chat over here on this side. Valerie said, Jesus, I hate it's so hard for me to find stuff in this. Here we go. Exactly, Vel. It takes the whole season to get through one day. Yeah, it's like how you don't have much of a storyline, so you try to stretch these scenes out so it'll give you that whole 20-something minutes. What is happening here? Like it's painful for me. I did enjoy Have and Have Nots. I was able to work through some of that. It was stuff like that happening there too, but I was able to work through it because I kind of liked the storyline. But then I think by season 3 or something, season 2 or 3, I couldn't stay. I had to leave. You are froze on my screen. I think you are the only person. Yes, I am unique, because if you were not, I would see a bunch of comments saying, Vel, you froze, Vel, you froze, Vel, you froze. So that I know from doing this work. If it's only one of y'all saying, Vel, I can't hear you, Vel, you're too low, Vel, it's your side, not this side. Okay, Nicole B is agreeing. She's saying, refresh your screen. Yeah, maybe log out of the app and log back in. Said it was froze earlier. It could have also been, I don't know, was I pulling up a video or something? Also, who was that again? Whoever that was, oh, yes, I'm unique, maybe minutes behind us. So there's some people, they log in later, and it's fine. That's why I had this countdown. That most of y'all good with the countdown, but some people complain about the countdown, the 5-minute countdown. It's so more of us are caught up and in the same moments, because sometimes people are minutes behind us because it's when they got a chance to log in. And so they commenting in real time, and we like 2 stories ahead of them. I see it all the time when I'm rewatching the replays. I giggle a little bit. Like, oh, poor baby. Not knowing we ain't going to see none of their comments, or it ain't making sense to us because we way past that point. You could always fast forward, slide your finger, move that red line all the way to the end, and that's going to put you in real time and you'll be with us. And then you could always rewatch the replay to catch the stuff you missed in the beginning. That way, when you comment, it's real time. But it's up to you. I'm just happy you're here. All right, so moving on. Do I have another video play? Because my house is hot and I need to turn on some fans and stuff. Oh, so this story. So curious, do you own an iPhone? Do you own an iPhone? Coming in the poll right now. Some people gonna love this story. Gonna be like, see, this is what I be telling y'all about them iPhones. Y'all spending all that money and all this. So Apple is set to pay out close to $500 million to its users whose older iPhones slowed down after software updates following a class action lawsuit. And they said the iPhone owners They say Apple will soon be paying out between. Now, this is a different article. Yeah. Anyway, so they're saying between 310 million and 500 million, up to roughly 3 million users of many pre-2018 model iPhones. Lawyers for Apple customers said in a statement the payouts will go to affect users who claimed files against the tech giant in 2020 for an issue that became known as #BatteryGate. I don't know how I missed this. And I'm curious, out of those of you who, 61% of you are my people, yes. Out of the 61% of you who love great technology, if it wasn't for Apple, I wouldn't be here, y'all. Y'all wouldn't have all this stuff that I got going on. But anyway, have you had any issues with your phone slowing down after a software update? I would say I haven't seen it as of past, I don't know, year or two, maybe year. But it used to happen. And so much so that literally the iPhone that I own now, I own this when I purchased this one because the one I had started it was lagging so much. And every time there would be a software update, it would just start glitching and stuff. It was so irritating, I should have been in on this, but I didn't know about this. So they said the settlement comes after a judge dismissed Apple's appeal to challenge a class action lawsuit filed against the tech giant in 2017, clearing the path for consumers impacted by the software throttle to receive settlement payments. The claimant's lawyers said the software throttling is what they called it, refers to software updates provided by Apple for its earlier iPhone models, which had low capacity batteries that wore over time. The iOS updates purposefully slowed down the overall performance of the user's iPhones when an aging battery was detected in order to prevent the devices from shutting down completely during peak current demands. So they were doing it on purpose. They said Apple said the reason for reducing or throttling performance was not to deceive customers into unnecessary upgrading of their phones, because that's what happened to me. And they ain't tell me, Vel, we know we're slowing down your phone and making it glitchy where you can barely use it, but you don't have to get a new phone. You can actually, we can fix this for you. That I ain't never get that message. They said, and it makes me paranoid even to this day about updates. Like my phone tried to update, what was it, a couple days ago, and I was like, oh shit, like, ooh, please don't let it be no problem. I skipped it. I was like, I ain't finna deal with that right now. I need my phone to be working properly. I'll wait on this update. I do it all the time. Me and the hub do that. Like, did you update your phone? Did you see that update? We get nervous like, oh Lord, you try it first and let me know. We have done that. You try it first and let me know how it goes. You update first. After you had your update 2-3 days, then I'll take a chance on it. They've traumatized us. They have. I have PTSD with the updates. Every time I see one, I'm like, oh shoot. Oh God, no, not another one. Anyway, they said, oh wait, slow down, blah, 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 da, 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 da. So they said Apple said its reason for reducing throttle performance was not to deceive the customers into unnecessarily upgrading the iPhones, which only required a new battery. Nobody ever told me that. When I bought this $1,100 phone or whatever it cost back then. And it's what, 3-4 years old now. But to prolong the lifespan of the device, the company told Verge. Why they ain't tell us? The iPhones would return to their normal speed once the deteriorating battery was replaced. Nobody ever told me this. I loved that other phone. I was okay with it. The settlement is not an admission of wrongdoing by Apple, according to the claim website. Of course, they're gonna always say that. That's why they settle. Because had it gone to trial, probably get more money. Probably had to give us a new iPhones for life. So the question is, did you know about this? And if you did know about this, did you actually file a class action lawsuit? So they're saying, here's what you need to know about the settlement. Basically, if you are not a part of it, what you need to know, because once I was doing this research for y'all, I was like, ooh, when I'm done with the live tonight, I'm finna apply for this settlement and give myself a good $80 or whatever. But what you need to know is if you didn't already file, it's too late. They said, how much will eligible iPhone users get paid? They're saying if you filed a claim, you can expect to receive roughly $65 from Apple. The attorney told CBS Money Watch, but he was also quoted as saying it could be higher as much as $85 to $90, depending on the number of claims submitted, he added. Fewer complaint submissions generally mean bigger payouts for each individual claimant. And they said there are about 3.3 million iPhone users that submitted the claims prior to the deadline, which means that they could each receive $128. That would be nice. Less any court ordered deductions for attorney fees and other costs. So the deadline that they had on it was what was it? October of 2020, if I'm not mistaken, was what I saw in one of the articles. So if you didn't do it already, we in the same boat. We in the same boat. Do you own an iPhone? I think I did too. So 61% of you said yes. I knew y'all with my VPO. 38% of y'all. I love y'all too. I still love y'all. I mean, I have a Droid too. I do have one. That's why I know this is the best, because I've tried them. Trial and error, trust. Anyway, have you had any issues with your iPhone slowing down after software updates? 59% of you said yes, and 40% of you said no. I would be interested with the 40%. Is it that you're a newer iPhone user, or maybe you always had a newer iPhone, so you weren't susceptible to this? Because I think what this affected was those of us who are the kind of people who don't want to upgrade your phone every year or every other year. Like I said, man, I don't know, 3-4 years at this point, I think. At least 3 years. And I'm still like, I'm good with it. And then did you file the class action settlement? 81% of you said no. 18% of you will be receiving about $128 at some point in the future. Might be another couple years, but you'll get it eventually. It'll just surprise you in the mail. Okay, let's see if we got any comments on this. Oh, did I skip doing comments on Tyler Perry? Tyler Perry is a diversified investor. He still has 25. Oh yeah, we kind of mentioned that. We didn't say the exact amount, but yeah. Byron Allen, Tyler Perry, and one other as a group. Too much chocolate power. Yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. If the you got an iPhone 5 lottery junkie, I mean, they're good when, like, as long as that was my thing about my phone, was like, if it wasn't for the update, my phone was fine. It worked the way I needed it to work. I mean, this one's nice and the pictures are better and stuff like that, but it would have took me a while to get another iPhone. Like, I wasn't feeling pressured because of these new features. Like now, I mean, there are newer features than what I got on this one. I think this one's is 11 Max, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, ain't nothing, no new feature came out that made me say, "Ooh, I got to get that." Like, I'm good. Okay, so we are done with that story. I'm like, all of a sudden I got froze in my thoughts. Okay, so this is an interesting, so now we're getting to our somewhat viral stories. This is an interesting story. I don't know exactly where this is at, but did you hear this particular story? Give me a second. So this is a story of a mother who decided to make her child's birthday wishes come true. This mother is catching backlash after letting her 15-year-old son get a tattoo. And it's a huge one. I'm like, he puts mine to shame. 15 years old. 15 years old. So he had, this is a post from the mom explaining how we got here. She says, she asked her son, what do you want for your birthday? He then says his name is AJ. Well, I guess his nickname is AJ. He said, a tattoo. And she says, me. What you want it to say? So this is when I read this earlier. I'm like, her first question wasn't like, why you want a tattoo? She was like, what do you want it to say? So y'all, you already got some kind of odd. I wish I had that picture of the boy whose mom had him come in Home Depot and shoot his oops, y'all know I can't say the word, but pow his baby mama, and she egging him on. Feel like that kind of relationship similar here. This ain't no parenting. This her trying to be the friend. What you wanted to say? He said, your name, ma. And then she says, let's go. So she then says, anything for you, baby boy. I don't know what the hell y'all doing with these babies out here. Focus is all wrong. All wrong. My question, though, as I read that post, well, her message was that it seemed manipulative to me, because I know how kids work. Some of us know. I was wondering, do you think he told his mom that to manipulate her emotionally into agreeing? Meaning, if I tell her I'm going to put her name, she getting all emotional. Oh my God, my baby want to mark my name on him. He loved me so much. Oh, baby, yes. Versus him saying, now what I really want is Cardi B's name on my arm. Like, do you feel like it was his way of ensuring that she was going to say yes to a tattoo? And it's huge. It is huge. Did you hear this story? 85% of you did not hear this story. 14% of you are saying, yes, you did. Do you think, this next poll, do you think that he did that to manipulate her emotionally into agreeing? 71% of you say yes. 29% of you say no. Yeah, I believe this little boy was on something. I believe he knew exactly what he was doing. That's my opinion. And it happens to be factual. No. But I know how, I mean, especially at a 15-year-old, you know what? I partially say this from experience. Some of you who are saying no have probably never been a 15-year-old little boy or a 15-year-old teenager. I have been. And I have during that time had a mother who was very loving. I was mama's boy. And the truth of the matter is, and I grew up in a 2-parent household, but the truth of the matter is, I knew how to manipulate my mama emotionally. I knew how to go to those places to tug on her heartstrings to get her to give me $100 that weekend when she told me she was broke. Oh, I knew how. Fake like I'm gonna run away. What the hell? I did it. This is what I'm saying. This ain't no story time of me making up. No, this is no fairy tale. I can't remember the details of why. I was the only child. I was bored in the house. In the house board. Bored in the house board. And I wanted to go to the mall. I wanted something to do. My father was watching sports. My mom was doing stuff around the house. And I knew my dad. I ain't bother asking him. I knew his answer. Nigga, if you don't get out of my face. But my mama. I told her, I asked her, she like, I ain't got it, whatever. Oh, I'm mad. I'm steaming mad. I go to my room and I'm just plotting. Oh, I hate it here. Oh, I hate it here. So bored. Oh, they just won't give me my way. And what did I do? I started packing up. I was a little spoiled. I started packing up to run away. It's funny now, but he know these games. He know these tricks. I literally started packing on my mom having to, and I'm, packing slow because I need her to notice that I'm doing it. Packing slow because I ain't trying to disrupt too much. I ain't trying to have too much to put back. Packing up. I think I might have did the sheet. The sheet with the stick. I think I might have did that. I ain't had no luggage back then. I wasn't used to traveling yet. Anyway, my mom sees what I'm doing. She asks me what I'm doing. I give her the old sorry. I'm leaving. I'm running away because I can't never do nothing. And I'm the only child. And I'm bored and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, I got $100 bill in my hand and I'm going to the I'm on the bus going to the mall by myself. So for those of you who saying no, I hope you're not single mamas with teenage boys. Y'all need to know what we do. What we do. Or what I used to do. I was a little too transparent. I think my mama know. Ooh, I hope she knew. I hope I told her. Ooh, this would be a hard way for Ma, if you were watching, please stop watching now. Jesus. I might have to put this video on private. Okay, anyway. What I have out there. Do you have a tattoo or tattoos? Wow, 67% of you do not, and 37% of you do. And that's the thing. I'm wondering, like, is this a trend? Like, is this like cell phones? I remember growing up. Well, when I was growing up, there were no cell phones. Cell phones did not. I mean, there were cell phones for drug dealers and businessmen. Like grown folks had them when I was, I think, in the late 80s, y'all, or something like that, or very early. I want to say late 80s. They had the brick phones. So I knew people that had them, but as far as being what they became, I didn't have my first cell phone until I was 20 or 21. Well, technically 18, but it was my mom's Motorola flip phone. But if you used it, your bill was going to be $500 that month. Like if you even made 2 calls, your bill just $500, no matter what. It could have been 2 15-minute calls. That bill $500. So I could carry it. I could text my friends on it. Page them. We had pagers. I did have a pager. I had a pager from the age of 16. But we could do that, but you couldn't really quite use the phone. But I didn't really have a phone until I was a grown-up. But now, and I remember when it started getting more popular for people to have phones, cell phones, it was like the adults had them, not the kids. But now, all the kids got to have the cell phone. And if they don't, it's something wrong with you as a parent. At least that's how society's shaped it. So now, have we moved into this? Is this going to be the next move of if you don't let your baby have a tattoo, something wrong with you? You're not a good parent. You don't love them. Like, what's happening? Where are we going with all this? What's happening? So it also made me look up what's happening in these various states in regards to that. Because I was reading some of the comments and seeing people's reaction. For the most part, most people disagree with her doing this, but there were some people who felt like as long as it's legal, then it is what it is. And so I was surprised that when I started looking this up and ended up finding out through Wikipedia that many states don't have a minimum age for tattoos. And of course, there's you got Alabama, Arizona, Connecticut, Hawaii, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska. Nevada is a state where there's no state law on it. However, in many municipalities, they do have certain rules on the age limits. New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wyoming. Those are all places where your babies can be going out there and getting tatted from the rooter to the tutor, without any age limitations. And then there are places where there are age minimums, but they are pretty minimum. You got in Florida, no surprises here, 16 years of age is the age of consent. Kansas, Louisiana, and New Jersey, all of them are 16 years of age. And Idaho beat them all out by saying they can just be 14. So he'd be fine in Idaho or any of the list of other states that I named that you don't have to worry about it. And although I was spoiled. Yes, I was. My mom would not, I didn't want a tattoo at an early age. Like, it wasn't a conversation we were having. It got mentioned just because, through conversation or things happened or somebody did something or somebody got one, maybe we would talk about it. But it was made very clear to me that my mom was like, you don't get no tattoo by you in this house. So as long as I stayed with her, I couldn't get a tattoo. When I went away to college, my first year in college, I couldn't get a tattoo and I couldn't get an earring. And when I went away to college, literally I want to say it was my first or second week there, I got my ears pierced and I came home and she was like, what you do? And I said, I don't live here. She was like, you do live here. you stay in a dorm apartment. You got to come back in here. That's not your permanent address. But I was like, I don't have to, I can go now. I still got somewhere to go. I ain't got to be here. But as far as tattoos, that wasn't gonna fly. And I didn't get my first tattoo until I was in my 30s. But I did plan to get it in college. I just never did. Okay, I'm gonna close out these polls. We're gonna move on to the next story. Would you allow your underage child, basically under 18 years, to get a tattoo? 94% of you say no. 5% of you say yes. And to each his own.
Y'all are so weird.
I hate
What does that mean?
I hate it. They're so weird.
I hate them, bro. I swear to God, bro. I hate them, bro. Them is weird.
No judgment on my part. I accidentally hit that button. I'm sorry. And then the other poll is, would your parent allow you to get a tattoo when you were a teenager? 93% of you grew up in the household like I did. 6% of you, parents was like, whatever. As long as you're paying for it. Or you get me one too. You probably have one of them parents. Did y'all smoke weed with them too? No, let me stop. I mean, people got parents like that. People got parents with them. Like, before I let you get high with anybody in them streets, you're going to get high with me. Okay. I ain't grew up in that kind of house, but I know people who did. And look at where they at now. Anyway, so moving on to the next story, we have this very, very odd story. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed for the people who are involved in this conversation. But there was a question put out there of, do you wash your feet in the shower? Basically your lower body. And Hoda is that the Today Show? What is y'all? Good Morning America, maybe? But anyway, her answer might surprise you. So they're saying, while some are quick to wash their toes and others believe that there's no need to wash their feet since the water and soap trickle down on them. Trickling and washing is two different things. They worlds apart. A trickle does not replace a scrub. So where are y'all living in? Let me see, is this the right one? Let's see if this play, I might have to pull it in. Showtime! That wasn't even the right one. Hold on. Oh, you gotta love all these techies. Okay, I'm gonna pull it in fresh. Give me a second. Where is it? We know where it's at. Here it is.
You said route. Okay.
Okay, here it is. Ready? The last one that everyone is talking about is, should you wash your feet while you're in the shower? So not just taking a shower, but should you specifically go down to your feet, get down there and wash them?
Oh, no.
This is an ongoing debate. No. We still don't even have our votes in for this one because people are still
voting.
Here's
the thing. So bending over to wash your feet?
Yes.
Okay, I just feel like everything's rolling on down that way anyway.
I mean,
They're getting clean
I agree
100%.
100%. But may I ask you, do you bend down there to shave your legs?
Yeah, well, no, I put my leg up on the landing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so you could put your leg up there and scrub those little feet.
No, but you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Of course,
I got to differ. By the way,
I
got to differ with you ladies. I'm down there scrubbing in between the toes, like getting
you
it off.
are?
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot happening down there. It's just like
somebody posted a map of where people wash, and
yes,
it's always the same places.
Where?
Here,
armpits,
here,
and your feet.
And
Your
but
feet,
you
isn't
don't
that
even.
crazy?
I have a question. Do you even go below the knee when you're washing?
No.
Wow, I'm learning a lot today.
But water splashes there, and I shave my legs almost every
You
day.
want a little soap, a little scrub? I don't know. That's
Okay.
Okay.
All right. If you want to weigh in on these viral debates, go to our.
So Hoda shared a lot with us that I would have expected or not been as surprised by the younger person saying that she was the one that for some reason thought that you don't have to literally wash your entire body. Let me clean it up for YouTube. But for Hoda, she should have grew up old school. Like she in her 50s, late 50s, I think. Does that mean her parents didn't teach her how to bathe properly? How do you think that water just sprinkling down gets in between the crevices of your toes? Lint from your sock, if you're walking. Somebody even said in the comments, not these comments, but when I was reading the story, so do they not wash their feet when they wear sandals and flip-flops? Have you seen your bottom of your feet, period? What other crevices aren't you cleaning? And you don't clean your legs, the bottom of your, the below your knee, you don't bend down them. Do they understand that you got the dead skin layer? I was just outdone by the possibility of that. It's like, oh, whoa, that's a thing. That's a thing. To not think you got to literally wash your whole body. Why not just stand underwater? Like in their theory, if they feel like the water just running down is doing the job, well, just stand under the water and stand still under the water then. So if you don't think that's going to clean you just to stand still under the water, how do you think that just allowing the water to just run down the leg is doing anything? That's all I had on that one. We're talking about the piercing. These new age parents doing entirely too much. Yes. Right. The only tattoos that were allowed were the ones in the Cracker Jacks box. Right. I could have those, and then my mom would act funny about some of that stuff. We're closing out this poll about people not cleaning themselves. Do you wash your feet between your toes and legs when you are in the shower? 97% of you say yes. 3% of you say no. And I guess you have your reasoning for that, and I do not judge you.
That's so weird.
I hate
What does that mean?
I hate it. They're so weird.
I hate them, bro. I swear to God, bro. I hate them, bro. Them is weird.
I don't know how. I told you I'm like a little off today. I'm hitting buttons I wasn't trying to hit. So that brings all of this to a close. That is this is how long the lives should be. This is my goal. This is what I'm going for. 1 hour and 39 minutes. How many stories was that? Well, they were shorter stories too. And I skipped some story. I don't even lie. I skipped some parts of the stories. Okay, but I'm getting a feel for how I need to do this in the future. So what we have next is it looks like we're moving the crooks section to Fridays. Not every day during the week anymore. So I got some stuff. I mean, honestly, I was just like, I don't even know what to talk about. But then as usual, I'm like, there's so much. I don't even have to think hard about it. And I was like, oh, I could tell them about that. Like off the top of my head, I just tell them about that. So the question is, do I do it or does VellNito do it? I already talked to Patreon about this earlier today. They already know I am. Do you want VellNito to do the Darius crooks? You want VellNito? Or I could just keep going. I mean, I need a commercial break real quick, but I can still keep going. Let me know. Majority wins. If y'all good, well, let's just continue like this. I will not be mad. I'll actually be very happy. But if you want VellNito, we'll give VellNito. Ooh, it's closer than that. Oh shoot. Oh Lord. It's getting closer and closer. But what we have for Crooks tonight is I was going to tell a little story time of about a situation some of y'all probably don't even know about, and then also cover a resource that I thought about that I was like, I know I've mentioned it in passing over the couple of years because it's been out a little over a year or so. But to go over this resource that is also related to Crooks and his scamming, that I'm curious of how many of you even know about it. And then I'm just going to walk you through it and do a little story time. But VellNito can also do it. It is so close, y'all. It is so close. So close that I'm going to make an executive decision and keep going. It's like, this is so close. This is half and half. I'm going to keep going. Let me play a quick little commercial. And I'm like, what was I trying to do? I got to pull it in again because for some reason StreamYard is not cooperating. And now the computer's slowing down. Y'all might see me freezing. I know somebody gonna say, I see you freezing. That's the computer trying to pull up this data or these files. Let's try this. Here we go.
Darius Cooks, also known as your local scammer. You are, you gay, growing up in Chicago. You just end up being with a tribe of people. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It might be different now, but when I was growing up, there were crews. We had people we hung with, right? Anyway, and I hung with people like, you remember Calvin, Lavelle. Those are people that I used to hang with back in the day, and you see what happened now, especially with randomness of Vail. We ain't heard hide nor have him, have we? We ain't heard hide nor have him, have we? Come to think of it, let me not bring his name up because let me tell you something. He probably, he ready to. Where's the expose? Where is the expose?
Attack. When you do the attack, you got to make sure you're real rooted and grounded. Look that way. Make sure you're real rooted and grounded so they don't know what's about to go on. You just attack them. You just attack them. What did I say? I said you better do what I said to do. Did they think you're crazy? If they think you're crazy, they'll just walk away slowly like that.
Oh, that was supposed to come up. Oh. Why aren't they removing it? I'm back. My brain at, but I'm back. Okay, so that pulls us into our last segment of this show, and yeah, majority didn't win, but I made an executive decision. It was just so close. We're probably gonna still end up moving VellNito to Reality Chronicles. There's a whole thing behind it. Patreon, they know. I've been talking to them. They know more about the intricacies of it all, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm still bringing it though. I'm still bringing it. So where I want to start this evening with Crooks is I'm curious if any of you have heard the story of Chef Lacefront in relation to Darius Crooks? Have you heard the story of Chef Lacefront? Very curious. So this is to your, I guess, left of your viewing is a social media influencer who was coined Chef Lacefront by people because she supposedly was saying that she received an inbox message. This is when Darius Crooks was going, I don't know, Darius Crooks is always going through being exposed. He's been exposed this week. It's stuff that I got that I just, forgot this is blocking my face. There's stuff that I got that I just realized I didn't pull any overlays. I just pulled regular images. But anyway, he's always going through being exposed. And this past week, I'm gonna do it sometime probably in the middle of next week, probably. The updates of what was happening this week, because there's been people starting to come out, more people starting to come out from his recent Dining with Darius Crooks events, who are saying that they didn't get their refunds from him canceling those events. So some of you may remember that I have shared that he was canceling events like a couple months ago. I was saying he was secretly canceling these events across the country. Although he claimed he sold out millions of dollars, all this stuff, he's still touting that all these things are so sold out. Yet he's canceling them because he didn't sell enough tickets. And he's also advertising in some states like, got 18 seats left, got 15 seats left, you know, all this stuff. But you claiming you sold out. It makes no sense. So anyway, there are people who were victim to those events who are posting on social media saying, hey, I didn't get my refund from when you canceled my event. And so more and more of those are starting to pop up, as well as people with these current orders of people who've ordered cookware and things like that. There's starting to be more complaints. I was literally just kind of asking out loud. I hadn't really been seeing much. And I was like, oh, how are things going out there? Are you guys actually getting what you ordered and stuff? And come to find out, no, they are not. So I'm going to be showing receipts and stuff. It's just, I ain't really been paying no attention to them this week, to be honest. So I didn't have any of it ready. But I do have this little tale of Chef Lacefront. So this was a situation of a small social media chef influencer, if you want to call her that, who was, she claimed that Angela the Kitchenista was inboxing her and other social media influencers to have them basically lie on Darius Crooks and say all these crazy things about him or whatever. I knew it was a lie because, for one, it was just odd that it made no sense that she would do that and then be reaching out to total strangers to do that. But this person who's been coined Chef Lacefront, and the reason they coined her that, there's a better picture of it. This one's not the best. But she gets on her live, her Facebook Live, I think it was, and then she starts to tell this story of how Angela the Kitchenista has reached out to her in her DMs. She supposedly shows this DM of Angela messaging her, saying all this crazy stuff. But when you look at how it's written, you're like, this is not Angela, because Angela's articulate. She's a great writer and all those other good things. She's educated. This person clearly was not. So that for me was a dead giveaway. I was like, she definitely did not write this. The other piece is, so this Chef Lacefront gets on and her lace from her wig is pulled down where my head is. And all this is lace. And it ain't, now I don't even know much about wigs and stuff like that. But all this lace is just like white glue. It's like she used Elmer's glue or something. And it's just clearly just lace there. And then the hair starts. craziness. And I'm like, she got on camera like that? Nobody came up to her and was like, what you got to say about what's happening with Darius Crooks? Like, it wasn't that. It was literally she prepared and sat in her car and said, oh, this is, how am I looking? Like, what? That let me know she wasn't wrapped too tight. So anyway, she was, I don't know if someone created a burner account and did it to her, knowing she might not understand and be a little slow. I don't know, or if she made it up herself, because she looks like the kind of person that would write the way that stuff was written. I'll pull it. Again, I literally decided 10 minutes before we went live what I would do with this. And I was like, oh yeah, I got that image. Let me talk about that. So she looks like, the kind of person that would write in the way that stuff was written. So long story short, it looks like her goal was, and so of course, with Darius Crooks, anytime, this is the crazy part about him though, anytime he has somebody siding with him, his enablers who have a platform of some sort, they're always deplorables. They're always the lowest common denominator. I mean, when you look at everybody who's said something in his defense, who has a platform, you have Larry Reed Lie, who is a known alleged pedo, documented pedo from multiple sources. You have, and he is now in hiding on his Patreon. Like, he don't even come out in public. Like, you got him. So that was one of the first people trying to defend Darius. Most recently, you had, well, I'll say you had The Wiley Show. He's considered, bottom of the barrel when it comes to YouTubers. You had Tasha K. She most recently did an interview with him. And we all know about that. We all know she's actually admitted to lying for clicks and views in court. And it's about, and he went to other media sources. Now, I would say some of the other places he went who vouched for him or didn't know any better just didn't research him. Like Kev on Stage. He went on Kev on Stage. Kev didn't research him. Once he found out, he was like, oh no, pulled it down. What's her name? Kim Kimble. I'm going to do a story on this though, but Kim Kimble, I don't know if y'all remember Kim Kimble from, she had a reality show. What's it called? I forgot the name of the reality show. But let me put, do you know who Kim Kimble is? This also let me know what stories I should push higher up. So Kim Kimble, yeah, she's a hairstylist. She's a celebrity hairstylist out of LA, and she had a reality show a couple years ago. It was on for maybe 2 or 3 seasons. And she has a newer YouTube channel, and she had him on like a year ago. And it was just her, they were virtually talking or whatever. And she was doing like a date night show and supposedly having like a celebrity chef, Darius Crooks, come on there and talk about a great date night meal you can make and all this other stuff and kind of promoting him. Well, she hadn't researched him. She just knew, she's a busy woman. She knew of him and she just knew what he had put out there. And when she uploaded that video, people flooded her with like, how dare you? He's a scammer, blah, blah, blah. You need to do your better LA Hair. Thank y'all. That was the name of the reality show, LA Hair. So people flooded her with comments. She pulled his video down literally within an hour. It was gone. Thankfully, I had recorded it before, so we still have it. That's how I work. I told y'all, when you're in this blogging space, when you see something, you like, ooh, you screen record, screen grab. This is my advice to budding influencers or bloggers or whatever y'all want to be. Screen grab it right away. Do not take no chance. Don't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna look into this later, because I've done that before, and then I go back and it's gone. They wipe away any evidence. So we got, I think it may have cut off mid, like halfway through, because she literally just pulled the video down off YouTube while I was playing. But I got most of it. I definitely got enough of it, because now that I remember, because it was about a year ago, I think it cut off while I was screen recording. I was like, damn, she wasn't playing. She's like, get off my brand. We know the Food Network has pulled him down. They pulled down he was on Cooking for Real with Sonny Anderson. what was he on, like 2 episodes or something? They yanked both those videos down. And he had it on his YouTube channel, basically bragging that it's like, that's part of his brand. That's, you know, what got him to the place that he's at or whatever. They was like, they went around him and went to YouTube. It was like, pull that shit down. Pull that shit down. So that's off the top of my head. But it's he went to the shade room because after he realized that he couldn't bamboozle Black Enterprise magazine, like legitimate news sources or media sources, and we kind of did an overview of that Black Enterprise article last week, or VellNito did it. After he realized that he can't get away with legitimate media, he started only going to places where he feels like they already are on his side or he can bamboozle them. So the shade room, he agreed to Black Enterprise and he never agreed to any. Forbes magazine offered to interview him, Yahoo, like all these places. He ignores all of them except for the shade room. The shade room, he thought was going to interview him and go with the foolishness of it, like they did when he outed the bi guy, the DL guy, whatever. He thought it was going to go that route. Well, they did like some legitimate journalism, and I ended up being on that in that newscast as well, that segment. They interviewed us and fact checked just like Black Enterprise did. He wasn't expecting that. So he's telling his people, watch it when the shade room doing a story on this. And when they did the story, it made him, once again, it exposed him. So he went from there to the Wiley show. And I watch Wiley. I don't have no issue, but Wiley will admit he's an internet troll and he's a contrarian. He automatically, whatever the popular belief is or whatever the masses go with, he goes the opposite way on purpose because it brings controversy, but it also makes him stand apart. Because if everybody's agreeing, he just fits in the mix and he doesn't necessarily maybe have enough to stand out when he's with the masses. However, if he's over here as an outlier, he's standing out. So that's his brand. If you follow Wiley, you know that. So he goes on there because he knows Wiley's going to agree with him. And that's what Wiley did. And Wiley ain't finna research. Wiley ain't finna do no real research and stuff. That ain't how he rolled. Gonna misunderstand the facts and everything else. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so he went on the Wiley show. The Wiley was with him. Larry Reed was agreeing with him. Tasha K has agreed with him. But you see the common denominator with all of them. But anyway, so Chef Lacefront was among one of these other situations. There have been a couple of that's just off the top of my head. But Chef Lacefront has been among that group. And so she gets on her live. She's basically then trying to say that people trying to make up stuff about him to pull her in and have her agree with the lies, et cetera, et cetera. He loves it. Oh, he like, ooh, who is this woman? And again, they all look like deplorables. They look like rejects. All of them. All the ones who side with him are rejects. Social rejects. And so he then is promoting her. He ends up, he was somewhere and she ends up meeting him somewhere. And you see them taking this picture together. He also had a P mark right there on his pants. Y'all can't see it as well on here, but if you look really hard, you can see he had a P mark. So people was dragging him for that. P mark on his joggers, taking a picture. So that was that. It's more to it or whatever, but we still never figured out exactly if she made it all up or if somebody bamboozled her by creating a burner and saying, well, we gonna trick her. But I don't know, that don't make as much sense. But it was all a lie. It was all a lie set up by him to make it look like, see, they lying about stuff. See, they trying to pull a group of gang of people to just make up stuff about me. Just foolishness. But he like drama. However he can get it, he like drama. However he can get it. I hate I don't have my overlays. I mean, I do, but it'd be too much to be pulling them in. I just wanted to give y'all stuff for the week, though. I knew I couldn't go a whole week, but I'll give y'all this. Okay, so the other thing is, let me see, what was my poll up here? Do you know who Kim Kimball is? 54% of you, so half of you basically do know who she is. So yeah, she has a YouTube channel. She had him on it. She pulled that issue down right away. She was like, not on my watch. The other thing, I'm gonna put this in the chat so you can look at it at your leisure, but I'm going to hold on. Well, let me do this first. Well, it don't matter. I got it now. Put this in the chat. This here is a link that when you get time in your leisure, if you want to do any deep dive for the however many percent of y'all who are actually interested in following this Darius Crooks saga, that is a link to the exposing a crook resource page, for lack of a better word. Oh, wrong place. Trying to multitask it, y'all. While my brain is trying to shut down. So did you know that there was a resource web page listing coverage of Darius Crooks and his scams and the media sources that have covered it? Did you even know that that existed? This is where I go into sharing my screen. So we're gonna walk through it. Then I'll do story times wherever. This is all off the cuff. We're doing the entire screen or just the screen? No, just do the window. Just the window. So that link that I just put in there, oh, Chanel 2218 says that is how she found me. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that that's how you found me, because that means that the resource is working. I love that. And welcome. Well, I know you've been around, but still welcome. I know you've been around a while. So 75% of you did not even know that this existed. So there's the link. Happy hunting, happy viewing, because there's a lot. There's a lot on there. So it hasn't been updated in a long time, but it's quite a bit on here. Let me show you. I think I should start at the bottom and work my way up. Yes, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, because it's kind of like the more recent. I mean, the past stuff is at the bottom, the older stuff. So we'll work our way to current day. So one of the things that is on there is popular Atlanta chef says his decision. And we'll actually play this, I guess. One of the things that hopefully y'all can hear. Let me know when I'm playing the sound if you can actually hear it. By saying yes, I can hear it, or yes, I cannot, or no, I cannot. Do not say yes and no, because I don't know what that means. That could be no, I can't hear it, or no, I hear it. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so one of the links is to the when the news was covering him, the restaurant's closing, and him claiming that he was closing it for his mental health. But we know that the state of Georgia snatched his business licenses and forced him to have to go out of business. So let me play this again. Let me know if you can hear. Hopefully we can, because that'll.
To suddenly shut down his restaurants has nothing to do with the trouble he's facing involving another business. Channel 2's investigative reporter Nicole Carr is live in College Park, and Nicole, the chef, told his social media followers that this is all about his mental health.
Right, and Joe, we know he hasn't shied away from talking about that, especially in recent weeks when he says it all took a turn right before he shut down these 3 restaurants. But state records give us a glimpse into what was happening with this particular restaurant, Soul Crab Atlanta, over the summer, as well as another business the state says he was operating illegally.
Draw your own conclusions. Take what you want. I think people are saying, oh, because of the, you just got sued that, now there's an impression. But this investigation and situation has been going on since the summer of last year.
Darius Williams supposed.
This is perfect. This is great. I forget. It's so much out here that sometimes, like I said, I don't even have to plan this stuff out. I don't have to script this and outline it like I had to do the rest of the stories. This stuff just off the cuff. This is what I have been telling y'all about. I've mentioned many times of his mental health excuse. This person, I'm trying to get better with some dragging, I'm doing a little less dragging, but he uses this mental health excuse anytime he gets backed into a corner. So much so and so dramatic and stunt queen-like that this fool puts his article of incorporations. That's what those binders are for those of you who don't know. Those are his charters for each business. I can see them pretty good here too. You got Get Your Credit Back Inc. So he actually had more than one credit repair company. He telling on himself. Get Your Credit Back Inc. is one of them. Above 701 is another. You got Greens and Gravy. I can't see the one at the bottom but those are just a couple of his Ponzi schemes. But now we see that there's even two. I think somebody did mention that there was two credit repair companies. But again, it's so much. But he only talks about above 701, and above 701 is the only one that he actually got the injunction for, the judgment, and had to do this, ended up doing the settlement with the state of Georgia for. Where is this Get Your Credit Back Inc.? Is it still operating? Has it changed its name and still scamming people? Don't know. So he does that and then puts 3 pill bottles, mysterious pill bottles. Who knows? This could be for your next weight loss surgery. Who knows what that's for? But these are supposed to be, this is for my mental health. Who does all that? Who does all that? A scammer. Because people buy into it.
Did a nearly 20-minute Facebook video to fans Tuesday morning. The Atlanta.
Who that talking about they wash their feet? Lottery junkie. How far behind are you, sweetie? We about two. I think we're about two and a half stories away from that. Catch up, friend. Catch up. Fast forward.
Entrepreneur telling them about his path to better mental health and denying his trouble with the state is tied to this. The sudden closure of his 2 Atlanta restaurants and Chicago establishment this week.
I wrote the check in December, so I don't really understand how one has to do with the other. And
that's another lie. The judgment, I just haven't been feeling like digging into it, y'all. Like I have. I literally read through it last week. Whew. It was like I wasn't feeling it. He lied. He had a payment plan with that thing. There was a payment plan for the consent. Let me see, y'all. We got time. We kitchen table talk. We family. Give me a second. Get my bearings. Let me see. I want to do this because I can pull it up fairly quickly because I was just looking at it. This dude just lies to be lying. Give me a second. Go here. We go, let's see. Businesses and then above 701. Y'all know it's like, what were we at? I told you I was near 40 businesses, 40 Ponzi schemes and scams. We got above 701 right here. Now I need to add, what was that? Get Your Credit Back. That wasn't even on the list, y'all. That nearly 40 businesses didn't include that one. I got to remember to add that tonight. Oh, Lord. It's tiny, though. I can't see. Which page was it? Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. Patience, grasshoppers. It's so little. I can't tell. And I didn't. That's it. There's one of them. Let me see. I think I found it. It's so little. I can barely. Let me see. Yeah, okay, here we go. It's this one and this one. So that's 10 and 11. Give me a second. We got 10 there and 11. All right, that's right. What he just said, I'm going to replay this for y'all.
And, it is what it is. And, I don't really understand how one has to in December. So
Atlanta restaurants and Chicago established.
Listen up. I'm about to come with the receipt after this.
This week.
I wrote the check in December, so I don't really understand how one has to do with the other. And, it is what it is.
Williams is.
So he wrote the check in December. Although we have here where it says the civil penalties, they give the total amount. First payment, $15,750.00. and they gave the date. So he wasn't like, okay, I'm giving this, I'm giving this. So he did write the check on December 2nd of 2019 because it was due, but it wasn't for the $145,000 that he claimed was no problem for him. And so he just wrote that amount and just wrote it off, and got it out of his hair. That was the first payment of the payment plan, because he tried to act like he's so rich. And even back then, I'm a millionaire. Well, if you were a millionaire, you should have been able to pay this $145K like you claimed you paid. The second payment was $5,000. Shall be paid on or before February, blah, blah, blah. Another $5,000 in March, and then another $10,000 in December of 2022. Again, there's so much stuff with that. He didn't pay it all the way he claims he paid it in this. Again, lies on top of lies. Let's watch the rest of this. It's only 3 minutes.
And you know, it is what it is.
Williams is referring to his $145,000 settlement with the state, which has accused him of operating an illegal credit repair business where he accepted money before providing services or misled customers about how he could actually help them. He still operates legally in other states in response to complaints saying some clients may have further damaged their own credit after he signed them on.
I don't want to go into like people's personal stuff because, you know, I'm bound to confidentiality, but that's typically what happens.
State records show both the credit repair business and one of the restaurants, Soul Crab ATL, lost its business licensing with the state last summer because of financial and compliance issues. Williams doesn't address the restaurant's record, but says the state judgment and restaurant closures are unrelated and denies financial problems.
Y'all hear that? Now, the news is telling you what the document says, that the state took the license of the restaurant, but he will still claim to this day, y'all keep lying on me. It was my mental health. I decided to close them. No, you were having mental health problems because the state was on your ass. But regardless of your mental health problems, that restaurant was closed by the state of Georgia. The news just said it. They read the documents just like we can. And like I have.
Are unrelated and denies financial problems.
All right, cool. It's $145,000. I got it right, and this is off my back. No big deal. Give me the checkbook. Nice, bro.
Give me the checkbook. For your payment plan? For your payment plan. Because you claimed you paid it all. It was $145,000. I got it out of my hair. No, you were still on the payment plan even when you did this fake IG Live.
Yeah, I thought the food was great. I mean, really, I thought the food was great. I didn't really close it down.
Staple of the community, been here for a while, and just shocked.
Money is not an issue for him, but his mental health is. And I'm
Could y'all identify in the chat? I can't see the live chat based on because I got this thing in full screen mode, and it's bothering me that I can't see the chat. But could y'all identify? I'm sorry. Could y'all identify what that is on the screen? What do we define that as? Or what kind of behavior are we seeing here? Let me know in the chat. What kind of behavior? Not him, but her.
Money is not an issue for him, but his mental health is. And I'm sad to see him go, but I'm delighted that he's taking care of his inner being.
Just fluttering around. Where's VellNito when you need him?
We wanted to ask Williams some more questions. He responded to an email saying he received it, but it may take up to 2 days for him to respond, given the volume of inquiries he's been getting. Meanwhile, the state is asking consumers who have dealt with him and the credit repair business to file claims with them, giving them instructions for that. They would not confirm whether the entire settlement has been paid, but said this is very much an open case. We're live from College Park. Nicole Carr, Channel 2 Action News.
Nicole, I'm not sure if you're able to get this information, but Criss talked about on his Instagram today that credit repair business was actually illegal here in Georgia. Does he explain how he was able to run that business with a lawyer but not know that it was illegal to do?
He didn't. He just said that he was unaware of that. And a part of that consent order says, hey, from now on, you have to say that I can't take Georgia clients. And so you see that posted on everything that he has now, but he has not explained how he did not know that was illegal.
All right. Well, hopefully he will respond to your interview.
Let me stop it on my side.
In College Park.
So yes, so that's the other piece of the lie. Hold on, I got this candle away from my screen. That's the other part of the lie is he claims that he has this, and thank y'all. I can see the monkeys now. My chat was blocked by the video. Money's no issue for him. Girl, if you don't quit just falling for everything some scammer telling you, it's documented that money is an issue for him. The court documented that, because if he had the whole $145K, he wouldn't have had to get on a payment plan. Also, I loved, and somebody said, rest in peace to the anchor. She's no longer with us. Who I started, but I can't. Let me see. Where is it? Where was it? Oh, I started. Okay. I'm looking at the live comments. I'm like, why am I saying emojis in the star comment? Rest in peace, Javetta Moore. So I guess the news anchor, she was the best news anchor in Atlanta. I'm sorry to hear that. And she was obviously very smart because she was reading through, like, and she's like, so, because you can see, like, so the hell going on here? Because he's claiming he had an attorney, but neither of them knew that it was illegal to run a credit repair business in the state of Georgia. You have an attorney who doesn't know that. Okay, fine. Let's go with the attorney didn't initially know. Any credible attorney will look up the laws for a business that they're creating charters for and creating documents for. They're going to look up, or they really already will know unless they're an amateur, but they're going to know what laws apply to that particular industry. But they not listening, they not paying no attention, they not using their critical thinking skills, because he'll be like, I have the best attorney. Even then, even during this time, I have the best attorney. My attorneys and my team is so great, but they got you into an illegal business that caused you to be sued by the state of Georgia. And the truth is the penalties would have been much higher had you not settled for the $145,000. Like you had to settle. That was a settlement. That was, okay, y'all, whatever y'all want, please leave me alone. That's what that was. That wasn't the state saying, well, you're right, you did okay, everything you did was fine. Okay, well, let's just call it even. Just give us $145,000 and, we'll just, that wasn't that. That was him like, what can I do to make this go away? And then they like, oh, he rich, but his mental health was more important and money's no issue for him. Girl, sad. It's sad. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's get back to our, did it click me out of it? I should have opened it in a different window. That's odd. It clicked me out of, or did I accidentally click myself out of it? I got it here. Okay, let's screen share again. I gotta move my chat though. That ain't gonna work. I can't be having the chat covered up. I gotta see what y'all saying. I have to move the chat over here for now. But then it's okay. Hold on, it's too long. Oh, come on now. Oh, this thing giving me a problem. Come on now. Forget it. Okay, now I want to come down from the top and not the bottom. Okay, there it is. Now I can see y'all even when I do full screen. Let me see. I had somebody say they don't care about the polls, and but they understand why I do it, because I do the polls just for engagement with y'all. That was somebody's random comment. I am going to start a membership. I have decided officially for this channel, but the reason I've struggled with it for a long time, like a couple years since memberships became a thing on YouTube, because I'm like, well, what can I give as a membership And also because I have Patreon, I'm like, I want to also make sure what I'm giving is not the same thing that's on Patreon. So I figured it out. And one of the things I want to do in the membership is a segment called the comment section, where I literally in real time just read through the comments, and there'll be videos. Maybe I'll do them live streams too. And I'll respond to them like in real time, and y'all will get to see see that. But anyway, someone commented that, yeah, I do the polls for engagement, blah, 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 but they could really care less and about what y'all got to say about anything. And I'm like, yeah, I do the polls because I like to engage with my people and my community. It's like we're together. We're spending time together. It's not just me talking at y'all. I like the engagement. I like to know what y'all really thinking, feeling, saying in the moment. If it was just me talking at y'all for 2-3 hours, I wouldn't be interested. So it's not just about engagement. It's not the marketing piece of it. It's literally, I enjoy communicating and hearing y'all thoughts. So FYI for people assuming why I do the polls, I'll let you know why I'm doing the polls. Okay, so there's more. There was another coverage of let me just see out of curiosity because I don't remember. Okay, so yeah, that was another coverage of the closing of the restaurants. Why does it close? Maybe it's the way they have that set up, but it's crazy. It closes it out every time instead of opening it in a different window. So then we have, let's see. So yeah, that was another news coverage, same news station in Atlanta covered it. And then we have Southern Grit magazine. So remember, I told y'all, is it gonna open right? Yeah. I told y'all that Southern Grit was the first magazine or first media outlet to expose Darius Crook's crimes and schemes publicly. So a lot of people think that nothing was being said about Darius. Well, he'll put out the narrative that nothing was being said about him publicly, that anybody was calling him a scammer or anything before 2019 with the credit repair and the closing of the restaurants. It's a lie from the pit of hell. People have been exposing Darius Crooks since 2012, I think. Well, we got messages as early as what? 2009, 2009, right? 2010, 2009. We got review messages and blog posts of people posting about his crimes and schemes when he had the Cupcake Gallery. The problem is those people didn't have large enough platforms for the public to be aware. So for him to say no one has ever said anything bad about me or scamming or scheming or anything until 2019 is a 2019 lie. That was his 10-year anniversary of people exposing you. That was your 10-year anniversary of God saying, I've had enough of you being able to slither your way through being a horrible human being, going unchecked for years. So anyway, Southern Grit was the first publication to publicly and nationally expose Darius Crooks. They are the first ones. They did the Deborah Freeman was the writer of this. I'm not going to read through this today, but we can revisit this in a future episode. But anyway, it was titled Darius Crooks, #Darius Crooks. Popular food personality under fire amidst multiple allegations. And so they started putting receipts. Deb Freeman, she put the credit repair stuff. What other judgment? Oh, I think this is also this is the judgment for when he scammed his designer, the Atlanta Soul Crab restaurant. No, that's a different one. Let me make sure. I can't see it. It's too small. And I'm trying not to read the whole thing and I'm scanning and I'm not quite seeing. But anyway, this almost looks like it could be the claim that his designer of greens and gravy had against him because he had her do work and hire a contractor. She hired subcontractors to do the build out and renovations of the restaurant. And then when it was time to pay up, he wouldn't pay her. And so she ended up having to sue him. He ended up paying, and it was only I want to say $4,000 or something like that. He didn't pay her until 2 days before court. And it had been going on for, I think, close to a year or something like that. Craziness. He did that also with a guy who did his pergola at his house. He had a lien on his house from a contractor because they built the pergola for him, and Darius Crooks didn't pay the guy. Guess the guy finally got paid when Darius sold that house. Then, you know, the story of Sonny Anderson. You got the story of Kitchenista. So this was like a shorter article, but they, you know, she had a couple receipts in here. Then Black Enterprise. No. Wrong. Let me go out of here and show y'all. I'm gonna have to do the window because this is every time I close this out, it's taking y'all into my notes. Okay, let's go into the next one. I hate just doing it like this. Crazy. The next one was the grill. I don't see the grill on here. That's I just realized that. Let me share the window instead. Share the window. No, entire screen, rather. Entire screen. So the next one was the Black Enterprise article. Remember, they did 2 of them. They did the first. Was this the first? No, this was the second one. So they did one, and then Darius Crooks. We talked about this last week, but they did one, and then Darius Crooks got on there. One of his Flying Monkey followers got on there and reached out to Black Enterprise. She had some connections there. She like, how dare y'all tell the truth about my Darius Crooks? And she insisted that they do another article retracting what they said the first time. And they said, well, we'll do another article, but we got to interview him. And what they didn't tell her is that we also got to talk to the people who were first involved in that original article and the people who've been implicated. And so they did that in the second article, including myself. And Darius Crooks got aired out even more, and there was more receipts than the first time. They doubled down. Then we have Angela Davis is the person who brought the public attention to it. She was the one that really started getting it in these various publications. What was that? In 2021. And so there was an article that Forbes magazine even did. Y'all can see it here. Forbes magazine did an article on Darius Crooks and his scamming allegations and why he should not have a platform. So we got, where we at? We got Forbes magazine. There was various ones. So we got there was a Forever Problem magazine that was connected to the Hollands. We got Freddie O did an article on it. Then we got Fox Down. This is a classic. I've done this one before.
Good food is supposed to nourish the soul as well as the body, but the Fox 5 I-Team says an Atlanta social media influencer who touts his cooking skills have left behind a mess of complaints.
That's right. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis spent time investigating a man who goes down by the name Darius Crooks. You've been hearing a lot about this guy, Randy.
That's right, Courtney. Yeah, his real name, though, is Darius Williams. His restaurants in Atlanta are now closed. His credit repair business now shut down. But it's how he treats his online critics through a practice called doxing that may have you questioning his recipe for success. It's 4 hours before dinner at this rented house in Collier Hills. And the Fox 5 I-Team is a surprise addition to the menu for a host who clearly does not want to be on TV. What are you trying to tell me? Have the cameraman leave? Okay. We'll stand down there. So why are you putting the names of your critics and their personal information online?
You don't see that?
Yeah, I've seen the actual clips.
Let me call my lawyer.
Yeah.
That's our favorite part. Let me call my lawyer. He was nervous as hell. He said, okay, so this dude, as in Darius Crooks, claims he ain't afraid of nobody. You can He'll speak up to anybody. Why are you sending the news cameras away? You ain't afraid of nobody. And then he tells, when Randy Travis says, why are you doxing your detractors, et cetera, I ain't never did. You ain't never seen that. What? He was so caught off guard that he was just lying about basic things that anybody could prove. But even his flying monkeys was still like, no, you right. You shouldn't. You ain't have to speak to them and blah blah blah. But okay, so you got Forbes magazine want to speak to you. Yahoo want to speak to you. Fox 5 Atlanta want to speak to you. None of those are valid news outlets to speak to. But you can go on Larry Reed Live, and you can go on Tasha K, and you go on the Wiley Show and the Shade Room when you thought that you were going to be able to bamboozle them. The other thing about the Shade Room, and I've shared it, I think I've shared it publicly, is I think Darius also, this is an assumption on my part, but I think he also thought he might be able to get away and that the Shade Room was going to be on his side because he knows the owners of the Shade Room, because they're connected to the Potter's house. And he knows them. And so I think what may have happened is he didn't know that the owners probably didn't even know all this was happening. Or maybe they did. Maybe they like, okay, well, he a scammer, and we're not going to, mess up our brand over this or whatever. Long story short, I think he thought that they were going to be on his side because he knew the owners. It didn't work out in his favor. Like a lot of this doesn't, to be honest. But anyway, so this is Randy Travis. The funny story behind this is how Randy Travis even found Darius at this location is because Darius was on Twitter, like he always is, as much as he tries to act like he is not. But they're on there under burner accounts. He was on there and he was trolling Natalie Lawyer Chick, who has the YouTube channel, and she did a couple stories on him. He was trolling her and a bunch of other people. He wasn't I don't even know if I was on. I don't think I was even on at that point. Like, meaning I'd be in and out on Twitter. Sometimes I'll be there for weeks and months at a time. So what happened was he was trolling her. She's like, well, you need to be answering for people trying to serve you, who are trying to sue you, et cetera, et cetera. And he was like, send them. I'm right here at this address. If anybody got something for me, they come to this address right now. Him being as Michelle said, the sassy bitch he is, he gives Natalie Lawyer Chick his exact address of where he was located, which happened to be this particular address. This information is then forwarded through some people in the coalition, and it makes it to Randy Travis, and Randy's like, I'm on it. I'll be right there. And this is how Randy Travis got to this place. This is how Randy Travis tracked him down. I'm like, what was I doing? Now I'm sharing it from an area I can see the chat better. Hold on. Wrong button though. Hold on. Screen share. Then we want that screen up there. That window, this window. Okay. Remove that. Lord, y'all, there's so much to click on. Okay.
Please call someone. Help us understand why you're doing this on your social media pages to people who complain about it.
We got our kids on there as well. Kids information. I put it on my Instagram.
And it has been a living nightmare.
A self-taught cook, Darius Williams has built an impressive online presence. Not just through his website, Darius Cooks TV, where he sells cookbooks and cookware mixed in with his cooking videos, but also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, where he claims 1.5 million followers. He also sells seats for 7-course meals called Dining with Darius, like the one we visited, held in various cities across the country. Williams often goes live multiple times a day to talk about food, and sometimes brag about background checks followers send him about his critics.
I can tell you who got the speeding ticket. I can tell you who moved from what state to what state.
Just 3 years ago, Georgia authorities shut down Williams' illegal credit repair business, including a $145,000 settlement. And in early 2020, before COVID, Williams suddenly closed his Atlanta restaurants, focusing instead on his online TV career, while also developing a side dish called doxing.
Sadly, the ingredients for doxing are easy to find. Take a heaping cup of private or identifying information about someone, sprinkle some malicious intent, throw it on the internet, and watch how hot it burns.
Remember those products Williams sells on his website? The Better Business Bureau gives his company an F rating because customers complain they never got what they ordered.
I started to notice a pattern of people coming on his live and asking about refunds.
It also bothered Danielle Holland that Williams would publicly blast some of those unhappy customers, posting their contact information, like this woman, making fun of her, then sharing her brother's phone number when he tried to privately intervene. In our story, we are blurring what Darius did not.
So he doesn't like criticism.
He doesn't like criticism. He doesn't like to be questioned.
The Detroit mom started anonymously retweeting some of the complaints she saw. Then one day, she looked at Darius's Twitter page.
I'm scrolling, and the next thing I know, I see a picture of me. I see a picture of my children and my husband. It was almost kind of like literally like an out-of-body experience.
They filed a police report and shut down their social media accounts. But their children's photos are still on Darius's page.
Randy, I'll be honest, I didn't even know what the term dox meant.
The Hollands quickly found others who say they're victims too, like Melanie's Ford of Atlanta. She says after she raised questions about Darius's tactics, his followers bombarded her too.
I was reached out to, called all sorts of names. It was absolutely horrible.
So more drama equals more likes.
He does this for likes, clicks, and engagement.
The food fight has even reached other TV chefs. Sonny Anderson and Andrea Davis, known as the Kitchenista, have issued public condemnations of Williams and his doxing.
This thing about doxing and cyberbullying is real, and it's hurtful, and it's hurting people.
So what did the usually chatty Darius Williams finally have to say to us?
You can just go on record and say I'm declining the comment. That's it. Have a great day.
Well, wait a minute. These people are upset because you've been putting their personal information online, Darius. Come on, I thought you liked being on television.
That is the funniest, most shady part of the whole thing. Randy, I thought you liked being on television. Like, I thought you liked attention, you sassy bitch. Okay, so then we have, I'm just doing a quick little overview. So y'all know that, okay, now y'all have the link. I put it in the chat so you can refer to this on your own in your leisure. I'll actually add it again and pin it to the top of the chat for now. There we go. Pin. Uh-oh. It moved on me. Now it's pinned to the top of the chat. So what we're looking at, for those of you who may have joined late, et cetera, this is the Exposing a Crook web page that has all the resources that list Darius Crooks and all of his all the coverage of his crimes, et cetera. So Fox 5 Atlanta, they did 2 separate stories on Darius Crooks. One was for doxing, which is the one we just watched, and then there was another featuring the illegal Dining with Darius Crooks events. So 2 separate topics. They also were following the case of the order of protection that Darius, fake order of protection that Darius filed against Melanie Ford, who was the lady in the green who was interviewed last. That was a saga that lasted months. And so they actually had cameras in the courtroom. And because it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, Patreon, one day I'll just really walk y'all through everything. But there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. But long story short, they didn't really follow. They didn't do new segments on that. But what they did do, what Randy agreed to do, was actually post the entire. And see, that's not here. That should be on here. He posted the entire trial. The entire TPO trial is on their website. It's about an hour, if I'm not mistaken, hour and 20 maybe. And I was literally there. And so they recorded the entire thing. So you got to see Darius caught in lies, like in real time and all that. It was wonderful. It was epic. He was so outdone. Crooks, because he didn't know. Darius Crooks did not know that was going to be video recorded and televised all over the internet. He had no idea. He ran home in a fluster, trying to go get to his flying monkeys quick enough to spin the narrative to hopefully make them never want to watch it. Because that's what he did even with this Randy Travis coverage. He was like, all of a sudden, Randy Travis, oh, he's so funny. Not Randy Travis. I mean, Randy Travis is funny, but Darius Crooks is funny. Darius Crooks tried to flip the narrative on Randy Travis to his D-hags, his D-hivers, and his flying monkeys, because y'all know it's levels to it. He tried to flip the script to get them to not listen. It's such a cult. It's such a cult. Like when you look at the psychology and how he operates, he tries to get ahead. So for those who don't know Randy Travis, who weren't from Atlanta, because I didn't know of Randy Travis until all of this. Once I learned about him, he is well known in Atlanta as being one of the best investigative reporters, period. And he is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, and has been doing that, I think, 20 years or something crazy. Man, he has credentials. He has credentials. Darius Crooks tells his followers, he tells them Randy Travis is a hack. Randy Travis' career ain't going nowhere, so he's trying to use Darius's name to get clicks and views. What? An award-winning journalist needs your story? He's only done it twice. He's still on the news. And he was on before you was born, probably. What? He needs you. He need an internet person. He need an internet influencer that most people don't know. What? They bought it, though. Oh, they bought it. Oh, they bought it. Oh, they bought it. A lot of them won't even watch what we just watched because they lying on him. The news, the Atlanta Fox 5 is lying on Darius Crooks. Why? Why would they? What need would they have to lie on that man? Why would they? They do investigative reporting, honest investigative reporting, except for when it comes to Darius Crooks, and all of a sudden they want to lie to get clicks and views. Now they're creating fake stories to get views. Y'all, he's not as popular as y'all think. Craziness. So that, again, he did 2 stories on him. Then we have I put in there about, no, that's the wrong one, wrong screen. I put in there about Roland Martin. Let's see. Did you know that Roland Martin also covered Darius Crooks? 59% of you said you did know. 41% of you said you did not know. That is what I'm here for. I'm here to keep you informed. I'm doing my job, doing the Lord's work. So I'm not going to play this because this is an hour long. But again, y'all got the link. It's pinned at the top. I'll cover it eventually because I'm going to cover the whole mail story with Darius Crooks from the beginning, the inception of the meeting, how it all went down, and how they got to the point how they fell out, and how we got to the point where they were, where we are with them, all that stuff. I will cover it. So this is part of that, and so I'm not going to dig deep in this. But if you want to watch it yourself, it is about him being accused of doxing, cyberbullying, and all that stuff. And so the other piece of this is that in my VellNito trailer, when you hear the man talking, let me see, where is it? Here, this part here. Y'all probably recognize this part. This is where it comes from. It comes from this interview. It's a clip of this. See, look at that fun fact. Some of y'all didn't even know. Did y'all know that? Let me see. Did you know? Well, I forget. I ain't going to do no poll for that. But did y'all know? Just put yes or no in the chat if you knew that part of the VellNito trailer is a clip of this. Okay, so next we have the Shade Room Investigates. So remember, I told y'all he thought that he was going to get away and bamboozle the Shade Room. He didn't look at them as a legitimate source, and they covered it. This is good, but this is 10 minutes. We ain't got a whole 10 minutes. I'm already going to 3 hours. How I end up at an hour and 39 minutes saying, oh, we making good time, to now it's almost 3 hours. How did this happen? How do y'all do this to me every time? So anyway, check this out because this is very interesting. This is very good. But the Shade Room talks doxing his shady business practice and the scamming allegations. They're calling it an exclusive, but by the time they got to it, it wasn't. Like, y'all was like number 6, 7, or 8 to the party, but okay. But what I will say is maybe part of the exclusive was that Darius Crooks actually did accept the interview from them, except to speak. And this is him sitting there lying because he thought, and once again, in a bed. He's about the laziest multimillionaire I know. So he said, always in some bed. He did say here, hold on. Anyway, so he does an interview. This is one of the few places where he actually, when it's not in the comfort of his D-hacks, where he actually answers somebody's questions. That ain't what I'm trying to show y'all. Then we have the Better Business Bureau. I'm going to ask this question because it still amazes me how many people won't know this. Did you know that the Better, I'm just put BBB, shorten it. BBB put a warning out about Darius. Did you know that the Better Business Bureau literally put out a public, why is it frozen? Uh-oh. Why my screens keep freezing? Oh, yeah, let me see. Am I going to refresh? Anyway, I ain't going to, okay, now it's doing it. But did you know that the BBB actually put out a warning for Darius Cooks LLC for customers failing to receive their products and goods, meaning they got so many complaints, and he wasn't answering any of them, et cetera, that they were like, we got to warn the public about this dude. And then on top of that, again, him flipping the narrative, creating the script. So then he tells he did that actually on Larry Reid Live. He went on there the night before the supposed retraction that he thought the Black Enterprise was going to do. He actually went on Larry Reid Live and told him that the reason he doesn't answer Better Business Bureau complaints and all of that is because it's not necessary. He has his own customer service and he don't need to work through them. They're not even like a credible agency, et cetera, et cetera. So he tears down the Better Business Bureau, act like they're insignificant, and says that's why he ignores them, because he doesn't need them because he has his own great customer service. What? If you did, nobody would be reporting you to the Better Business Bureau. But they bought that, y'all. They bought that too. His followers bought that too. We gonna do that too. I swear, it's so much to cover. I tell y'all. I just, again, no scripts, no outline. I'm doing this ish off the fly. I didn't even know how I was gonna go about this. Off the fly. It's so much. It's literally an alternate universe of scamation. So he also did. So he tried to make so he's learned, just like we talked about earlier with Keke Palmer, because it's a tactic that people do now in today's world of clapping back. And the way to clap back is you turn it into monetization. You monetize your clap back. Keke Palmer just did it with her baby daddy, with the whole "I'm a mama though" or "You a mother though." She did the t-shirts. Now she got the song out with Usher. She's monetizing the drama of it all. Darius Crooks learned that a long time ago. Now he'll act like he invented it. He did not. He's following the framework that was created many, many moons ago. He ain't created. He figured it out. He learned it and figured out how to use it in his world. So he did it with the Better Business Bureau as well. He does it all the time. That's why he creates the discount codes. They think all this is his brilliance and he's original. This dude is a hack. A lying, scamming, stunt queen, messy bitch. No, I'm sorry, sassy bitch. That's all he is. But anyway, so he did it with the Better Business Bureau and created a t-shirt line, BBBD's nuts and something else, all these like different BBB. I've showed it on this channel before, but when I do another retrospective, I'll bring it out again. But anyway, he had a whole t-shirt line about it, and they, Master, what you want me to buy? What you want me to buy? BBBD nuts, like all that. They getting reported. He's getting reported for scamming people and taking money and not delivering goods. They, to defend him, give him more money so they won't get goods. Okay, eventually. Okay, so then we're going to move back to it. Let's see. We're almost done. Entire screen. This one up here. Okay. Where we leave off. We did the BBB. Let's get here. So then, okay, you got the BBB warning. Then you have Natalie Lawyer Chick's YouTube channel. Is it here? Oh, yeah. She has a whole playlist on him. I didn't even know it was this many videos. Oh, well, a couple of them on a kitchenista. That's a whole nother story. We're gonna talk about that eventually too. I got to get around to that. There's some stuff I got to do. We got to do the Tim Norman transcripts first, and I didn't want to put it on y'all to then pull this in as well, because there's an active defamation lawsuit, some of y'all know, with the kitchenista filing against Darius Crooks. There are court documents, and I have looked into them, and but I don't want to be working on two separate things with court documents that require money and everything at the same time. I don't want to even get it all confused like that. But anyway, we'll talk about it eventually. I'll break it down. But anyway, Natalie Lawyer Chick, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos on Darius Crooks himself, and then 2 are about the kitchenista and what has developed over time with that. Then we have at the top, it's kind of fitting, I think. We have, well, it's listed as my old channel name for those of you who may be a little confused. Randomness of Vell was the channel name before I changed it to Vell B Reacts. I think it's more fitting. It's shorter too. Vell B Reacts is, because I be reacting the hell out of this stuff. But anyway, they have my playlist on here as well. It says I have 23 videos. 23 videos. This ain't even all of them, because these are only one. These are the ones that I added to the playlist. And to be honest, I'm behind. This stuff it's not everything. So there's probably well over close to, this is 22. There's probably 40 videos about his scamation on my channel alone. My channel alone. So for those of you who always don't know, like you're like, oh, I didn't know, and I'm just finding out about you or this or da-da-da and this and that. Click on that link. There's a whole playlist. I got about easily 40 videos on Darius Crooks. All of them are factual. Every last one of them. With insight that you ain't gonna get nowhere else. It is what it is. I'm gonna talk my ish when I can talk my ish. And this is a situation where I can talk my ish. I have information on this like nobody else. It is what it is. I gotta accept it. I can't deny it. I damn to try it. But anyway, with that, let me get to the comments. Let me see what y'all might have had to say. Oh, it's only 2-star comments. Okay. All right. Thought we had more than that, but okay. An episode on podcast Scam. Yeah, Scam Goddess also. Yeah, it's a bunch of them. So that's what I'm saying. That list, whoever created, and I forgot who originally created it, but they haven't updated it. So I don't know if they're still even really working on this stuff at all or paying attention to it. But I'm gonna have to figure out something. Love your reporting, Vell. Thank you, Queensation. I love that. Queensation, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see. I'm just browse a couple of comments. Where we at? I'm gonna get y'all to the 3-hour mark. So we got 4.5 minutes. Yes, Roland Martin talked about that. sounding like Donald Trump. They've indicted him 4 times. What's the holdup with Crooks this time? Well, but how long did it take for them to get to the point of being able to indict Donald Trump 4 times? Donald Trump has been running amok for 30 years. So the way I look at it, it ain't an overnight thing. I ain't gonna say that Darius Crooks is as sophisticated with his scamming as Donald Trump has been, but as you see how long it's taken, it takes time for authorities to build cases and solid cases. And when you talk about FBI and all of that, they don't have step. They don't have step at all. Let's see. I felt like that was another I was going to click on. Randy Travis is our people. We need him to expose more of Crooks' dusty stuff. Yeah, the thing about like a Randy Travis and these legitimate news reporters, even like Kia Morgan. Am I adding Smith to her name, or is it Kia Morgan Smith? But Kia Morgan from the Black Enterprise, because I've had conversations with her about that, and as much as she was saying there was so much more for me to cover, at first she was going to do a part 2, would have been a part 3 for them technically, but then she's like, I got more important story. Like, she's like, I cover real celebrities and real stuff. Like, this ain't. So that's how a lot of them feel about it. He's, at the end of the day, he's just a social media influencer who happens to be a scammer and a sociopath. It's not enough to make most of them want to. And we're not talking about a true real life celebrity. We're talking about a social media influencer who has a large following. That's a totally different thing. Totally different thing. If Darius Crooks, if there were to be a movie put out, let's say he was starring in a movie and it was put out in theaters, he would only have those 500 or 600 Instagram followers who be sitting on his IG lives. The flying monkeys and the D-hags and the D-hivers would be the only ones going to see that movie. So he's not a real celebrity. He's not a celebrity at all. They don't understand that. They brains are gone. They don't understand it. But that's why mass media ain't too quick to cover him. They like, whatever. He's basically was calling him an attention whore in a nice way. Yes, he was. Randy Travis. He's like, I thought you liked being on TV. I don't know, y'all. It's hard to search through for comment. Let me look at the live. Right, it would be a bootleg movie, Nicole. Yeah, Crooks absolutely. Well, but Crooks loves attention that he can curate and control. He didn't like that Randy Travis attention. He didn't like Randy Travis popping up at the house. You saw that, because if he liked attention, he would have engaged with it. He like, no, he didn't want to open the door for that. So it's attention that he can control and curate and flip the negative on. We don't need a movie of him, Dahmer and Bundy, all saturated pathologies. Yeah. All right, well, I ain't gonna hold y'all then, because it's hard to find comments when I gotta kind of weed through. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I didn't know about get your credit bank. I think it was back. I think it was get your credit back. He needs to be in jail. Yeah. I honestly, I know something's gonna happen. I know it in my gut. I just know it in my gut. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I have zero idea, but I just know it in my gut. I just do. So with that, I thank all of you for joining me this evening. It has been a pleasure. I appreciate you for following. Please make sure to, if you're watching the replay, definitely, hold on. Everything all over the place now. I gotta move my stuff all to different screens I'm not used to using. But make sure to connect with me on my platforms and join the VIP text community and the Facebook VIP group. That's a way to stay in touch with me. You'll also know when I am going live and when I'm uploading new videos. And why is that doing that? Hold on. Oh, that's not supposed to be a poll. Look at me messing up. It's time to go. But that's what we're doing. We're closing out. Thank you to everyone on who, all my moderators on the front end. We got Alice Blessed Child of Good, Marianne Coker, and Precious G, and I know there have been others, but I'm just scanning real quick. Whoever I may be, O'Donna Hammond I see here, and anyone else that I may be missing, I greatly appreciate you for your extra layer of support. And yeah, Alice is also in the background as a background singer for tonight. And I will see y'all probably Tuesday, because I'm gonna, on my days off, I'm only gonna go live 2 to 3 days a week now, 2 to 3 days a week. But join and connect with us on the with the link there that is also pinned to the top of the chat, but for the replay it'll be pinned as the first comment and also in the description area, and that'll be how you'll know for sure when I'm going live. But most likely it'll be Tuesday next week, and then the days I don't go live, we will be doing the live premiere of the highlight videos. So with that, everybody have a great night, great weekend, and I will see you next go around. I was gonna play a commercial out, but I don't think it's gonna play, so it ain't, and I ain't finna worry about digging nothing out. All right, y'all have a great night. Take care. Be blessed. Peace.